gentlemen, MLBB enthusiasts from all around the globe, welcome to the second day of the M5 knockout stage. I'm your host, Mara Aquino, and I have to tell you, the energy in the M5 is nothing short of phenomenal. But today, we're not just aiming for greatness. We're reaching for something beyond, something better than great. In the stunning journey through the knockouts, the tides and the change of the wind, well, it has changed and has blown fiercely. The West has risen like never before with Deus Vult, proving that they are the dark horses. While we were also thunderstruck by Onyx, the Sky Kings, as they took down the mighty Blacklist International. But the journey doesn't stop there, as we have two epic matches that promises to redefine greatness in the land of dawn. We have AP Bren, the Filipino champions, going up against the fearsome See You Soon of Cambodia. This is a battle that transcends borders and cultures. And if that's not enough, well, we got Geek Fam, a team that adjusted their roster with strategic, actually. And they're gonna be going up against the undying Burmese ghouls. So this is a battle of the fittest. So buckle up, everyone. The stakes are high, the competition is fierce, and the players are ready to etch their name in M-Series history. So let's get this best of 5 started. Here we go. Casters, pasok.
It'll be a classic home versus away situation here in the first match of the day. And I think, did you guys hear that? There's some bees out there in the crowd ready for this. Anyway, welcome everybody to, again, the M5 World Championship. Nice to you here alongside Mirko and Yasu. And we're here to bring you the first best of 5 series for the day between AP Bren and, of course, Cambodia's See You Soon. Gentlemen, how are we feeling?
Feeling great. AP Bren versus See You Soon. I won't tell you my prediction just yet. You know,
okay.
I think some people are out, are kind of mad after yesterday. We don't need to talk about that, but needless to say, I'm excited to see what AP Bren and See You Soon can bring to the table today.
Well, speaking of yesterday, I kind of expect to see something really remarkable today.
Well, I can't wait to see it unfold. Yesterday was already action-packed. What more for today? But before that, we of course have to thank our sponsors, because without them, this would not be possible. The M5 World Championship is powered by Moonton. It's presented by Kadia, supported by ROG, the official gaming phone, Grab, the official super app partner, and of course, Secret Lab, our official chair partner. Thank you to all our lovely sponsors. M5 would not be possible without you all.
And also special shout out to our global presenting partner, Kadia. Kadia is a giga project, a city that is being built in Saudi Arabia, and it is the future capital of entertainment, sports, and culture.
Also, don't just stop at the best hero builds and combos. Get ahead of competition and reach mythic or mythic glory with the Secret Lab Titan Evo gaming chair, outfitted with pro-grade ergonomic features engineered for maximum performance. Shop match winning, comfort, and keep yourself at the top of your game.
Now there's more for all you watching at home, and even here in the venue, the M5 Pass is still going on. Unlock the Yuzhong M5 exclusive Dragon's Shade skin and the Prime version, the Cosmic Dragon skin, when you buy the M5 Pass. Accomplish all the activity tasks to reach level 75 for free, and a ton of M5 exclusive rewards are just waiting for you guys at home, so go ahead and grab it while you can. You have it? Do you have the level 75, Mirko?
What? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I got distracted. I mean, come on. They put this in front of me, and you expect me not to get distracted? I'm at level 90. I'm very close. I've been grinding. Even though we've been casting, I've been using all the low time to play MLBB to get that right there.
I'm going to have to probably get a couple, what are those called? The support chests?
Yes.
Because we're spending so much time here on the desk, of course, throughout this. So, the game time has faltered a little bit, but can't wait as well to get our hands on this again. There it is, right there, actually. Go ahead and check that out. You guys will want to go ahead and grab that. Now, before we get to the match, we do have a recap here for what happened yesterday, what transpired yesterday. Have a look at this.
Fuel held by their nation's pride.
Only 8 teams have the right to take that next step towards being better than great.
We are finally down to the final 8. Now let's recap what happened in day 1 of the knockout stage. The first best-of-5 knockout series of M5 ignited with an eruptive clash between Turkey's Fireflux Esports and EECA's Deus Volt.
Deus Volt is gonna take game 1.
Both teams fought tooth and nail and tied the score at 1-1.
Alter does come out, watch for Apex with Conceal, doesn't get stopped in his tracks, Matchstore still goes down and Sunshine finds another.
The dark horse of the tournament is living up to the moniker with dominating gameplay.
Oh, a little bit of a side flank and attack, they land on Sunshine, 3 members.
Bunu keseriz ha. Bekleyin geliyorum lan. Çık. Tamam çıkarız. O ben bu arada hiçbir şeyleri yok. Oynadın Emre oynadın. Hiçbir şeyleri yok.
Hadi Emre. I can purify here. Purify. Hold it on. Nice. Fight. Kill. Tamam. Carve, you can carve. No, it's gonna be blue buff. Green here. I survive. Hit that. Nice. I take ground.
It is now the Bomba era, as Kid Bomba and Deus Volt sent the Turkish champions to the lower bracket.
Maraming salamat Pilipinas.
It was a fated meeting between the Codebreakers and the Sky Kings.
Edward brought down to half health, Ivory comes out but he gets knocked up, Kyrie in trouble, and Sensui gets first blood.
Blacklist started the series strong by constantly shutting down Kyrie.
Onyx trying to make a bite back, trying to strike back, Sensui gets to play Kyrie down.
And after 30 minutes of tug and pull, the agents claim the first win.
Can they finish it? Kyrie dives in, he's taken out, Oheb finds him. Boot's gonna find Sensui though, so no Restream on the board. Oheb will be the next to fall. It's 4 members of Blacklist. All that's left is the Hitman. Sandstorm locks in, and Onyx will take game number 2.
But Onyx recovered thanks to CW's flawless performance with Claude. If you think that was intense, game 3 was better than great. The Sky Kings triumph thanks once again to CW and Kyrie's heroic performance.
Backside with a blaze. He does have a teammate. 1v3.
No
teammate. Wait, he got teamwork. Safely.
And the series continued as the agents equalized in style.
Penalty zone on all members. Sensui gonna go down. The crossbow tank locks on. Edward next. T-Boy backside. Divine Retribution. Sans finds it. 3 members down. Make it 4. Onyx have just taken control. And Onyx will reign supreme.
Ultimately, Onyx proved that they are the better team with a commanding Game 5 win. We will now head to day 2 of the knockout stage. What sort of storyline will we see today? It's time to be better than great.
Now, let's go ahead and take a look. Presented by Kadia, the play of the day from day 1 of the knockout stage. It's Boots, the 5-man penalty zone. It was perfect. The perfect fight for Onyx here, Mirko.
It was more than perfect. It was better than great. The fact that he was able to find that angle, right? Waiting in the bush, basically finding the perfect ambush to find a penalty zone flicker and getting it onto 5. You don't see that every day. You don't even see that rarely. It's rare. It's more than rare. It's ultra rare. It's legendary.
Yeah, with perfect timing, perfect hero, and a perfect player combined together, that's what we see, ladies and gentlemen.
And as we take a look here at the brackets, once again, as we move forward with the tournament, this is the double elimination bracket that we have, right? It's the losers will go to the lower bracket. They'll get kind of that second chance, if you will. And of course, interesting. Look at that first rematch that we're going to see.
Oh,
eventually.
man. In the group stages, we saw exactly what happened. It was a 2-0 to Fireflux. in the lower brackets, it may be different, right? It's a
Yeah.
completely different stage. What do you think, Yasu? That's a tough rematch.
I would think that this match is either sending a message and sending Blacklist home, or Fireflux goes away on the hands of a revenge by Team Blacklist International.
Well, can't wait to see that tomorrow. But today, we're kicking it off with AP Bren and See You Soon. And reminder too, AP Bren has not lost a game yet, right?
Nope.
They're currently undefeated. We'll see if See You Soon can actually do something about that. And then later on, we have Geek Fam versus Burmese Ghouls. Two teams that, you know, very interesting the way they got here, right? Kind of leading into this knockout stage, but definitely, like in a way too, yes, it's double elimination, they have everything, but in their own right, they've had another opportunity to get here to the knockout stage, and I think, you know, we'll see how that all unfolds for them because, again, we know there's also possible changes, right? Obviously with Geek Fam, with how things kind of unfolded, so I guess that's up in the air as well. Later on, though, we'll see that, but first, once again, we have to focus on this matchup, AP Bren and See You Soon. The headliner for today specifically on how this is all going to go. See You Soon, they're better than Great Journey. From the skies into the bee's hive. Man, they have been through a trial so far, right? And they have one more step ahead of them to continue on here, Mirko.
Well, the thing is, right, for AP Bren, this is a buff that they can also utilize. The fact that Blacklist International were able to make it so close yesterday against Onyx, I'll have to say, sure, they performed amazing, but what boosted them was the crowd, the home crowd. And I'm looking at the back right now. I see a lot of people. I just want to test the energy of EVM Convention Center. So I'm going to test it one more time, all right?
All right.
I'm going to tell you guys to yell, to scream,
Get the bees
to support.
going.
For the Hive, let me hear you!
That's a lot of hive.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bees.
That's a lot of
bro.
bees.
That's
bees.
a lot of bees.
Well, speaking of today's match, and Team See You Soon coming from a really, really hard match against Team Onyx from the sky, as we said, to the challenge up against the Hive Team AB Bren. They are now playing against the hometown champion.
Well, speaking of that, let's also talk a little bit also of See You Soon, right? This is from words from Kyrie here. He gets the approval from Kyrie, right? Since the last time we fought, MP the King has improved a lot as a player and as a team player. It's far from how he was before, and I hope he keeps it up, right? These are big words, of course, you know, of inspiration to go towards MP the King. He's had his own journey, right, over the course of even the past year. And, you know, to hear that, of course, that's what I always love, guys, about some of the interviews that we hear after the matches and everything. You know, hearing some of these stories on how certain players have looked up to these other players. They might have even just watched them on stream for a while, and now they're here competing against them. So, of course, we also have to take a look at the statistics here. Yasu, take us through this one.
Well, from the mature to the world stage, we can see here that Kyle TZ, let's say he has been here since the beginning, but MP the King had to go on a journey, in a really marvelous journey there in Cambodia, coming back with Team See You Soon. Look at the KDA, it's almost the same. I think that the comparison between both the junglers is really good here, and also having that boost after hearing what Kyrie said about MP the King might even give him more, I would say, aggressiveness in this gameplay to play up against Kyle TZ and not just be a really good worthy challenger, but even a better one.
Well, we'll see how that unfolds. I like to just looking at the unique hero pool, right? Kyle TZ leaning more towards that utility that we know works so well for a lot of these junglers around the world. And then on the other side, MP the King, his unique hero pool is more opt for those assassin-style heroes, right? And so far, up to this point in M5, I would say, relatively, we've seen a healthy combination of, you know, these utility junglers working, these assassin ones working. It really depends on the team, the players. So really, that's what it comes down to. One thing always, though, is AP Bren usually has the objective game on lockdown, right? So I'll have to see if See You Soon is ready to go with that. And if that means picking up an assassin-based jungler, set the momentum against AP Bren, that could work for them. Right? So again, we'll see how that all rolls out here. But first, we do have to always welcome and thank our marshals to officiate the M5 World Championship. We have our marshals making their way onto the stage. They are here to ensure the fairness and integrity of the games. It's Rain, Wilbert, Shun, and Ivan. These guys have done an outstanding job, so we thank you for that, your hard work. And now, let's get ready. The Hive is here in EVM. Let's welcome the stellar performance as a reinforced M2 champions. They take the stage, ready to assert dominance fresh out of the Hive. It's AP Brent.
From the dominance of the group stage, they will try to once again be dominant here, going for their second title, the M World Championship.
And across from them, as they enter the arena where courage collides with aggression, the MPL Cambodia champions, undeterred and ready for battle. Here comes the fearless See You Soon.
Well, coming up all the way from Cambodia, they are going on a marvelous journey. First up against the Sky Kings and now against the Hive.
And to guide the teams to victory, we have their head coaches and their analysts. For AP Brent, Coach Ducky and Coach Bren. And across from them, for See You Soon, is Cat God. Again, both the minds here working against each other. There's so much information up to this point in the knockout stage. Who's to say we don't see some surprises for our first draft here? But again, all that time will tell. We do have a best of 5. Let's go ahead and also take a look at the lineup here, Mirko, for AP Brent.
Super Marco, Kyle TZ, Flap TZ, Few, and Ogwen. It's their winning lineup that we've seen all throughout the year pick up championships and be as consistent as ever. And for right now, I will have to say the way that they are playing, it feels like, again, they're very, very dynamic. They can take the early lead with a lot of neutral objective control from Few, Flap TZ, and Kyle TZ. But if they fall in the early game, like we saw in the group stages, they can always rely on Super Marco being that reliable gold laner that can carry even when the team is down 8,000 gold.
Well, let's take a look at the lineup here. Yasu, for See You Soon.
For See You Soon, we have Kosei, MP, the King, Sorian, Felix, and Ra and Boxy King. And with their early game ganks and love, they do love to stay around the rumor. We will see a really competitive game from minute number 1.
Yeah, and I know we already talked about, the jungle matchup, right? But even so, for here, my eyes are going to be on the mid lane for part of this, right? For Ra against Few, how that kind of matches up. And even if you look at the team head-to-head, how this goes, this is, right, the gold laners here, the team in general, in a way, that's kind of going with what I said earlier, right? AP Brent, a team that approaches this team, has to be able to match up in terms of objective takes, right?
Yeah.
Go with those turtle dances, go with those lord dances, and try to, if they can one-up them, if they can at least keep it even there. That's, again, like Mirko talked about, the mid to late game transition sometimes is where AP Brent struggles, right? See You Soon, they might be looking to punish that here, Yasu.
Yeah, and also there's something really good that we have stated or that we have said about MP, the King, and Kyle, but especially about Kyle here. Even though we know that he's really good with the utility heroes, when Nolan is open, for him, it's a priority.
Okay.
I think for See You Soon, the most threatening thing to AP Bren has got to be the way that they can play in the early game. See You Soon's early game, especially when they go and rely on it completely with a Martis pick, a Dyroth pick, and Angela like we saw in MPLI. When they just commit to that early game, they're able to force the death ball. Some teams look for the death ball. No, See You Soon force it. They see that death ball in the game quite soon.
Quite soon. Speaking of that, looking at the talent prediction here, Mirko, you don't think AP Brent's they're still gonna have their streak, right? You're going with a 3-0.
Yeah, for sure. 3-0, when I predict things, it comes true.
Yeah. Is this the mere bless or the mere curse?
I have no idea, man.
you leave it up to basically the fate.
For safety reasons, I cannot explain whether that's a mere bless or a mere curse.
Hey, at this point, we got to keep you safe, right? There's still plenty of days.
That's why I'm glad you're here with me, man.
Wolf, if you're out there listening, I'm still here. You can still hire me if you need me, to protect you. I got you, right? But right now, once again, waiting for these teams to go into that first draft here, we do have to talk about also the fact that, mentality-wise, as we look at the audience predictions, is there a distinct advantage of being the home team? Being the home team, having that favor from the crowd, even, looking at the numbers-wise, it's heavily in favor of AP Brent here, Yasu.
Yeah, and in terms of the statistics too, we can go and it's safe to say that AP Brent have the upper hand here, but all the way through from the wild card up until here, we have seen a lot of surprises, reverse sweeps. We have seen teams with new appearances, first times being here, and yet they pull up a really good performance. And Team ChezyGaming actually, they did really great in the group stage ever since they started in group, when the group where there is Onyx and also Triple Esports. They have won 2 games and just lost against Onyx. So far, I think that Team ChezyGaming are doing really great, and up against Team AB Bren, I think they will see a surprise here.
Well, surprise or not, we're going to find out here as we jump in to the draft. Game number 1 to kick off this day, the first best of 5. AP Bren and see you soon. As we load up once again, we saw so many, I guess, surprises so far in the past couple days. Is this a time for a surprise, or do we see the standards being set once again as we get through this first banning phase?
Well, speaking about Team ChezyGaming, they are one of those teams who actually pulled off the Angela more than 1 time, actually 3 times in the mid lane. But whenever Arlet is an option, they take him. And you know what? There's a really good statistic here. Out of 6 games that Team ChezyGaming played, they picked up the Arlet 5 times. Whew.
They love playing setters. For Felix. Felix is the playmaker, the main one for the team. So we need something to engage with, to have some chain or AoE will be very, very optimal. But aside from that, something like a carry, something like a Phobius definitely fits in to Felix's crazy aggressive style as well.
I love it too because, you know, that Phobius that has popped up a couple times, we also saw that in the hands of, you know, few in the past. Not only that, but even, you know, picks like the Fredrid in the mid lane. That's why I'm saying both these teams, they have their own possibility for uniqueness, but also they can play very standard so far. And I would say even for M5, you know, it started in the wild card, transitioned through the group stages here, but I could say that we're already, we're in a comfortable set in the meta, right? There is room for some of these flexible picks that can be shifted to the XP, shifted to the roam, jungle, what have you. But so far, there's still room for these niche kind of, I don't know if you want to call them cheesy or not, Yasu, but some of those picks that are unorthodox, right, that does pop up here. And even a hero that's popped up quite a bit, even from the wild card, has been Khalid. And Khalid has done actually really well so far throughout this M5 main event.
Yeah, I would actually add upon that the Lilia itself. The Lilia is like making its way through up there in the meta when it comes to the mages. But if I'm Team ChezyGaming here, I would say that it's pretty obvious, at least, that Team AB Bren are clearing the way for a Nolan. As I told you, Cal loves to play Nolan, and not just that, yes, he is really good with the utility heroes, but do not forget the possibility that he can play assassins too, and one of his priority assassins is the Nolan. So I think with this last ban, they will force ChezyGaming to ban Nolan.
Utility is only the cover, right? The most hero picks you saw from AP Bren for Kyle TZ, it's a cover-up. We know, if you watch MPL Philippines, if you watched Kyle TZ for a long time now, he's been a very, very good and deadly assassin user. So it's all about when that opportunity shows itself. And AP Bren, you're definitely right, Yasu, are setting up for it. Let's see if ChezyGaming want to say, we'll beat you. Go for the Nolan. We have the early game. We can go for the Martis, the combination to slam you down and shut you down as early as possible.
I don't know, man. If you got TZ in your name, it's like you have to be able to play the assassins.
Right? It would be a shame if you don't, right?
It's like a badge that just says, all right, well, I can play these assassin heroes if I want to and make them work. Now, if it is the first pick of the Nolan here, Yasu, what is the best way to stop that, to counter that? Because, it's not banned. So is this the first pick? Valentina's also open as well, right? So what are we thinking here if it is going to be the Nolan? How do you counter into that?
Well, speaking of numbers, if Team ChezyGaming, I think right now it's really safe for them to take the Nolan. As I told you, they will prioritize Nolan, and they are clearing the way for him. You can bring up some of the suppression heroes, but it's kind of too early for me at least. And I would suggest to go with the picks that you are really good with. And that's an Arlet right now, alongside with the Claude is a really good pick. And actually, I think it's taken off the hands of Super Marco because he has shown really great strength since the start of M5 with the Claude.
Wondering if this is also going to be the Valentina, if they want to pick that up now.
Maybe.
But the fact that they did take the Claude, I think that's a great start, right? Take that. We haven't talked too much about Super Marco, but he is just one of the most consistent, I feel like, gold laners and how he performs. They take the Faramis instead, so this is probably going to be the Valentina going in AP Bren. They'll fight Netherrealm for Netherrealm, at least for now, and kind of devolve from there.
And it should be an Arlet contest as well. It should be picked up by Flap TZ. See you soon. Felix loves it, but I know a guy who loves it too, right? Flap TZ has utilized this 0-7. 0-7. Last time we casted.
And that was us.
That was us. Literally the same desk.
That was us.
0-7. Bronze, probably. Chocolate in the back.
Chocolate
But
gaming.
a win is a win, man. A W is a W.
It just takes one final slash, man. You know, when we looked at that play, the play of the day yesterday, and it was that 5-man penalty zone.
Yep.
This is that.
You could have done that with 0-7.
With 0-7.
You didn't need a perfect KDA.
Right? That's the great thing. And I feel like, you know, for the longest time, by the way, congratulations to the talent of the world, to LaFell, but he's always the one that's like, imagine the 5-man final slash or the 5-man penalty zone. Hey, maybe this is also a opportunity here as they lock in the Arla and the Bruno here, Yasu.
The Bruno. Well, the Bruno is a really good pick that have shown really good performance since the beginning here, but I would actually go for the Valentina. Bruno is still a really good pick, but having the Valentina right now and getting the best use out of the Paramis and like whatever comes on the road, but we can see a Lancelot. Have we seen a Lancelot in this tournament quite? I think like
yesterday,
like maybe once or twice.
A few times. It hasn't been Prio, right? As Prio as MSC, definitely not. Where it was just picked up first pick every single time. But I want to talk about the roamer. The Roman Ogwen, Master Ogwen. It feels like at times I have to remind him that he is a roamer. Even at MBLI, he had the most kills in the game with roamer Arlen. So I just walked up to him. Ogwen, you know you're a roamer, right? Just checking in case, you know, he forgot. Oh, I thought I was XP, nobody knows. So it feels like for Ogwen, despite him having such a good KDA, usually you would say, roamer with a good KDA, that's a bad roamer, right? Because you don't sacrifice yourself, you don't put yourself in danger.
Supposed to give it over, but no.
He's just good.
Yeah, he's just good. He's that good.
That's how to explain it. He's just good.
8.8. I think back in wildcards, one of the roamers, if I remember right, maybe it was Ethan that had like a 9. I think something along those lines. But there's a reason why when Ogwen's playing, people are just like, yeah, it's Ogwen, right? Because it gets to the point where he's doing insane things that typical roamers don't do. And if you remember, if you guys caught that video where the roamers were actually tier listing themselves, Ogwen was up there, right? He was humble, but you know the others put him up there in the S tier. So you know, as we get through once again the second phase of the bans here, you can already see some of these picks that we talked about, right? Valentina is actually going to be taken out. So what does this mean? Do they actually want to take out, wait, yeah, it's still open, the Lilia. Because that is usually a good answer towards the Fairness, the Netherrealm.
Well, for me, I think that Team Season at this moment, they need a setup hero to set up for the Claude, and also they need someone to face check the bushes, because so far they don't have a person who can go inside a bush and risk his life. I'm not going to risk my jungler, I'm not going to risk my marksman or mage, so they still have the XP and the roam on the hold. But for Team AB Bren here, I think that one of the area crowd control heroes can do a really good setup for all of these compositions. Having a final slash, we have spoke about it before, one final slash can be really deadly at the late game.
And that's what they're taking out from See You Soon. They know that there's one big play that they can make with the Arlen. If you give Felix the same kind of utility, the same kind of tools to make those kind of plays, like say a penalty zone, 5-man like yesterday, or
an implosion.
An implosion.
That's how I'm assuming that's how Tigreal says it.
Yeah, probably, right?
I'm imploding.
I just picture you as Tiger, man. You brought that here, and you have that look nice.
If I ever cosplayed, I think he'd be one of the first one. Sorry, Gord be first. I'd have to paint my body blue or purple or whatever color Gord is.
Yeah, you know, then Tigreal.
Yeah.
But Dyroth comes out here. All right, so for See You Soon, it's exactly what I actually said before the match. They want to just bank on that early game. Lancelot pick, great one. Dyroth, they want to bully this XP. Even though the Arlet has a lot of sustain, one gank from a Lancelot, 1 second kill from the Dyroth, and say goodbye to your HP bar.
Yeah, your armor's gone, right? And that they're just kind of going with this. I don't want to say it's all in, but See You Soon definitely wants to start on a good foot, especially leading into those first objectives. If they can do that, we've actually seen this combination before work really well with a Dyroth. Now, the only problem is, again, execution-wise, are you going to be able to pull it off? Do you have enough time for Claude to build up as well later on in the game and get to that point, right? We'll see how this is all rounded out, though, with AP Bren's last 2 picks, how they want to play this out against the Novaria and the Mikito, Yasu.
Well, the Novaria is really good here to reveal the bushes. It will work like magic, but okay, so we will see an Arlet being swept to the roaming duties, and we will see Flapkizzy on the XP lane using that Paquito. But going back to see you soon and having that Diratos is one of the picks that I don't actually like when they go inside the bushes, because once you're in, there's no way out. You should commit to the team fight. 1 second skill and there's no way out except if you have a flicker. And I don't think that they can actually afford the flicker. Yeah, as I told you, a suppression hero, but not early on. A suppression hero, which is the Kaja right now, and he will be able to take both Nolan and also Bruno.
Love this. As that Kaja was locked in here, this is just saying that, okay, so you assume they want that numbers advantage right away, right?
Yeah.
Get the pick off, get a kill, whether that's paired up, even if they utilize Dyroth with the Divine Judgment and it's an automatic, like, just burst kill, that could go in their favor here, and then they have the numbers advantage. So this could all play a part here. Yasu, real quick, we are going to be taking a look at the team breakdown, the compositions here. How's it looking?
Well, it looks so good for Team AB Bren because they are going with so many confident picks. Arl, this is the 5th time out of 7 games, and Paquito, this is the 3rd time out of 7 games. So far, Team AB Bren are really on the road to take a clean sweep.
Whoa, oh, that is...
Oh.
Let's see if it happens again. We're going to be loading up into the land of Dawn here. The first best of 5 series for the day. It's AP Bren versus See You Soon. And who will grab the first blood in the series as they get us situated here? Once again, we have to talk about the jungler matchup, how that will transition through that first objective. How's it looking, Yasu?
Well, I think that there is a Oh, Ogwayne. Oh, too deep.
Just gotta be careful, gets whipped down by Boxing. Now it's Felix who's rotated and a flicker into the bush to find first blood early. Master Ogwen on the Arlet.
Hey, you don't have a KDA like that without taking some risk, right?
Yeah.
Not too much, though.
Not too much.
Yasu,
Just that one.
Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say that Team See You Soon, even though they lost against Team Onyx 2 times, yet they have a 100% when it comes to the first blood. So they keep on doing the same record, adding more numbers.
Well,
really good.
This, yeah.
In the early game.
Pressure.
Wants to go for the Restream. Oh, he wins it out, and MP the King is forced out of his own jungle. Ra as well. Flicker early on.
Okay, so, you know, going back to the lineups here, I think this is exactly what both teams seem they want to do, right? Put pressure on each other. And typically, I would say there's some of these lineups, some of these games where, you know, relatively nothing happens too early on leading in the first hurdle, but already a lot of aggression here. So real quick, take us through the emblems here, Yasu.
I'm actually quite interested in the emblem from the Claude. He's taking a little bit of a tanky approach, which actually justifies the laning phase, like the lane matchup that he have right now, because the Bruno is will always have the upper hand when it comes to the early game because you have a Claude on the other end. But also the items here real quick, we will see that again Claude goes for a tanky approach, having those bands, steel bands in the early game.
Okay, first objective now spawning here. A couple people still need that level 4 on both sides. They're going to break it out here.
Astro Echo revealing 3 members. Counts easy, 2 levels ahead of MP the King. Roz walking out, Felix jumps in onto Kyle, but gets damaged down as a 2-man stun. No final slash just yet, but sorry, I'm Felix. Will not be able to use that Abyssum Strike. Only pops it, doesn't get it out. AP Bren take a kill and they disengage.
Okay, disengage here. Able to get on the board though, so it still... The fact that Boxy also didn't have that level 4, wasn't able to utilize that. So he's got it now. They're probably just will give up this first turtle, right? Play around that and try to set up for another one for the second turtle here.
And as I told you, not having a flicker in such deadly moment for Sorian Felix was critical, because once you're in, you have to commit to the team fight, and he couldn't find any way out of that team fight at the turtle. It's looking good actually on both sides. I wouldn't say that a 1k advantage in the early game might actually be counted as an advantage for Team AB Bren, so both teams are going the right way.
Yeah, again, putting pressure where they can. I think really you have to look at See Soon's lineup here. They need to be able to keep the gold lead under control, right? If it is 1k, it's not too bad. 2k, still reasonable, right? But because you have the Kaja here, because you have the Dyroth, you got to be able to get the pickoffs you're looking for. So once again, that's the, I feel like the obstacle alone for Boxy, right? Where can I find these pickoffs? Where can I lead the team here to build up on momentum?
Okay.
He's going to be fine though, but, you know, still, same thing here. See You Soon kind of trying to find something utilizing this Kaja early on.
Well, I really like the physical penetration coming there from Surya and Felix, but again, I want to tell you something about Few. Few actually picked off the Novaria 3 times so far, so this is the 1st time for him, and he actually deals a really decent amount of damage. The first time I saw a Novaria deal a lot of damage this season was in the hands of Sans, but AB Bren and especially Few have proven that this hero is quite annoying when it comes to harassing the backlines of the enemy.
Yeah, I think, you know, talking about the damage potential for Novaria, it's just one of those added things. You can either say that that's the...
whoa.
An all-in up top, ChezyGaming with a fracture. Felix able to dash out now, and so you soon see that. They look for a pick on the other side of the map. They don't want to commit onto Ogwin, though, however. They instead just look to play it safe in the mid. Ogwin doesn't want to make it safe.
Too deep.
Divine Judgment pulling him back. Oh, it's a beautiful Shadow Stampede. Ogwin overstepped, but Flapteezy comes in and finds a late nether realm from Ra. And it's AP Brent still with a victory.
Yeah, overcommitting to it, Ogwin. He went all the way through, and I was actually about to ask why Boxy didn't ult or like use the Divine Judgment early on, but ChezyGaming wants to engage.
They get him just instantly. That was, there's no way that he was able to escape at all.
I'm confused, man. You know, like I was saying, the Dyroth is there to help you burst down AP Bren, but it's happening to see you soon here. So, you know, right now, Sarya and Felix having a tough time, and they've garnered themselves nearly that 3K gold lead up to this point.
I really like the rotation coming from Kyle, especially because he's moving all around the map. Whenever you look at the map, whenever like we have our camera on someone, we always find Kyle in a really good position. And the damage and the early game damage output that can come from a Nolan, he's really using that to the maximum. 3K gold lead in a matter of 5 minutes. Almost 5 minutes, and also having 4 of your members on the top charts. That's a really huge thing for Team AB Bren.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and play around with this type of lead at this point, right? This is usually where they shine, but for See You Soon, if they can keep things together, no.
Final slash! Boxy gets caught in the fists of Flapteezy.
Yeah, he's not good. Flapteezy this time.
Going in again, forcing a blazing duet. Now MP looking for the assassination. Flapteezy taken low and shut down in game number 1. That's Felix, who jumps in, but now might just get taken down. A defensive netherrealm from Rao. Felix gets out barely 1 HP. Meanwhile, Marco up top picks up a turret.
Oh my god. I've just seen Flapteezy. Final slash here. But Ogwin doesn't go for it. And also Team AB Bren going back in time, remembering Flapteezy when he was going in all aggressive with all the gold he has. But this shutdown might be what Team See You Soon needed at this moment.
Okay, so See You Soon, they might be down nearly 3K gold, but they've got some fight in them.
Yeah.
They have to continue on this way. Boxy going to use the conceal though. He's going to get spotted out.
Divine Judgment locking Open down. That's a lot of burst, and Open just disappears, but now Felix is caught in a crossfire. Cusey with a blazing duet to the back line. Few forced to flicker. Marco as well. It's 2 flickers burnt out. Cusey is also committed. That sprint. See You Soon has a chance to go for the turtle.
Hey, again, great fight here from See You Soon. Able to find a pickoff. Now possibly contest this turtle, the 3rd one in the game here. We'll see if AP Brent just decides to give it up, but look at the positioning. ChezyGaming getting into that side.
A level ahead, knockout strike coming down. ChezyGaming looking for the steal, but it's Boxy who finds it. Not either of the junglers. ChezyGaming retreated, MP didn't, and Boxy was just whipping.
He's there, man. He's got him.
We have seen Kaja actually take 2 turtles so far in the tournament. One of them was with the passive, and now we have seen him also take
that was Ethan, right? Logan.
Yeah. So
it was against AP Bren too. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It feels like they are invincible against the Kaja when it comes to the turtle. But we have spoken about Team AB Bren and how good they are in the game so far. But looking at it from the other perspective, looking at it from Team See You Soon's perspective, they still have Kosei untouched. They still have Kosei building up his damage items. Also, he have a little bit of defense. So one blazing duet, I would say, when there's no one who can actually absorb so much damage on Team AB Bren's side, can flip things around for Team See You Soon.
You see what's happening here. Every single time Boxy is going to pop that conceal, they look for their own pull. If they can't get it, then they gotta wait a little bit longer unless, again, you utilize that flicker combination with the Divine Judgment, but really that's kind of what they're up to, right?
Yeah.
Raw could technically do the same thing with this Fairness, but right now, given this lead that AP Brent has, he's really got to keep tabs on the rest of the team to utilize that Netherrealm, right? So really it's up to Boxy, but at least for Siasoon, they've got a second option too to initiate some of these fights or possibly even peel for the team if it's not in their favor here. But all this, once again, leading into the next objective 30 seconds away. It's going to be that Lord. Now, again, looking at the damage here, this is something we typically see. You talked about it earlier, Yasu.
Yeah.
Who's at the top?
Yeah, few at the top with that Novaria, but Boxy the King, oh, he's going in. It was almost a death bush. And speaking of Boxy the King, actually, I would say that Team AB Brain are trying so hard to bait the Divine Judgment out of him. And if I'm Boxy the King, I would actually accept the gift that Team AB Brain gives each time, because losing a member at such critical time will cause a lot of mayhem for Team AB Brain.
There's a 1v1 up top. Orange buff secured by MP the King, but he had to commit a retribution.
Ouch.
20 seconds on cooldown now as the Lord spawns in the bottom side of the map. That's a good seal. Ogwin's looking for a big play. Jumps in with a vengeance. Now Divine Judgment locks him down, and that's the Abyssal Strike connecting. Kusei finding the kill. Another realm coming down for Siasoon's re-engage on the Super Marco. With a massive execution, that Super Marco forced to flicker out. That's Ra with some damage, but it's turned around. The Blazing Duet doesn't find its mark, and now he's forced to go with that defensive BMI. Counts easy, looking for the kill. Jumps in, fracture, not enough to take anyone out.
So close. Again, that team fight looked a little bit messy on both sides, but still able to profit in there.
Oh,
wait, Boxy.
Where did that happen?
Whoa!
What?
Boxy just lost the boxing fight against Black Teasy, and now it's MP! One more ball to his face, it's Super Marco, who picks up a kill. 3 for nothing, out of nowhere.
What? That was off camera.
What a play. Again, it was messy, but then all of a sudden AP Brent coming out profiting big time.
What happened?
What happened, Flap?
I was about to say something about the Netherrealm being triggered in a really early time, but Flap TZ behind the scenes, behind the camera, did all the work for Team AB Brent. Double kill, was it? Was it double kill for him?
Wow. Play, jumps in with a vengeance, Dynamite Judgment.
Man's
Behind the
remember.
scenes.
That's 0-7. And he has risen and done better every day since then.
But look, it might be the Arlet curse. Ogwen is 0-4.
Hey.
3 deaths away from that power spike.
You know,
Oh yeah, the power spike, he reached it at 0-7, right?
Arlott is the forgotten one. Like, out of all the heroes, Arlott is the one. It's either him or Terizla. It's either the final slash for the penalty zone, which usually changes a lot of the course of these games. But now, going back to it, right, Lord's going to be quickly worked on there. Bottom side, Siasoon's going to try to hold on to as much as they can, but they're going to lose some real estate here. AP Bren, big item pickups as well. Nearly 7,000 gold ahead as they continue to take down these tier 2s. So with all that, can Siasoon, are they in a position to defend here, Yasu, against this first Lord push?
Oh, they should defend the inhibitor turret with their lives, because it's still too early to lose an inhibitor turret. Oh, Ogwayne.
Only on to Boxy, now Ogwen going to be locked down. Divine Judgment locking Super Marco down, but he's able to flicker out just in time. Gusei chasing in, MP the King looking to just put some damage onto the frontliners. But while all that was happening, Felix was picked off.
Yeah. Sorry, Felix having a very difficult time in this game alone, but right now Siasoon still holding on the best they can. They've got another wave to be pushing in here. AP Brent might still look to capitalize on something as they go.
Oh, knockout strike and a stun. MP now with the path of execution into that dimensional rip. The fracture from Kaltizi bursts MP out of the land of dawn.
Oh, that's where Team Siasoon's weakness appear. Oh, the first inhibitor turret is already out. Not easy, what?
He's doing work.
They're going at it. Flicker out, but he has a shield. Now it's Ogwen who backs Siasoon off, and it's another Astral Spear. Ogwen, final slash on it too. Divine Judgment, locking Super Marco down. The Wind of Nature is there. That's an absolute worldie. Marco.
Whew. Again, it looked like an over-commitment from Siasoon against Flap, and now they find themselves with an exposed base here at the 13-minute mark. AP Bren with a massive lead will go ahead and disengage for now.
The question here, who's gonna take the damage? Who's gonna take the damage, Siasoon? Are you gonna just rely on the Netherrealm? Boxy the King with the fleeting time as the first item, and then following it up with an immortality, you cannot take any damage. Either while talking about the magical damage or even the physical ones, Team ChezyGaming are playing on a pick-off strategy, but with no one to front them. Look at this Lord, he's being treated, he's being abused. Did you see that damage?
Yeah.
The Lord isn't enjoying his stay in the land of Dawn, man. He's getting beat up.
He doesn't feel like the Lord right now.
All the sports, the football player and the boxer.
Whew.
Oh, is that 12K in 14 minutes?
They're trying to beat the clock, Yasu, yes.
Yeah.
12K in 14.
I think yesterday we saw a bigger one, right? I mean, what, 14,000, something like that?
Yeah.
Around the 14-minute mark. So, you know, at this point, with this type of disparity, right? ChezyGaming, they honestly, they have to hope for a miracle, right? Because you have a couple options to kind of overlay things here, but really, you're going to play to the tune of AP Bren. It's going to be up to them, Ogwin especially, with the final slash. So if you can somehow survive that initial initiation, we'll see if they can pull it off.
Oh,
Final slash, lockdown, two-man, Caltizi zones Kusi in the back, who pops to Winter Nature a bit late. The Netherrealm has been committed. Now Flap does the boxing in the back. That's MP, who's looking for a play to clear the waves. It's a double for Super Marco, and it's the end for game number 1. AP Bren strikes first in a dominant game 1.
Dominant game 1 here. A statement for the series. Of course, AP Bren making it look clean against ChezyGaming here. We'll see how they adjust from it.
Sending a message. Team AB Bren are sending a message. A quick game coming from the hometown champions. And as I told you, when it came to the draft, when it came to the execution, Team ChezyGaming are lacking on that defense. They cannot take any damage. Falling behind the inhibitor turrets and losing that base was kinda inevitable with such gold lead.
Yeah, again, when you look at it, AP Bren has not dropped a game yet.
Yeah.
And playing like that, man, it's tough to see where the weak link is here, right?
Yeah.
In the lineup, we've seen variations of the drafts and the heroes they like to pick up. But ultimately, teams have struggled to find exactly that point, you know, that weakness so far. So for ChezyGaming, I feel like, again, their draft, if you look at this, they had a game plan in mind. It was to pick off, you know, try to isolate someone, get the numbers advantage, but hey, it didn't work out for them. They weren't able to utilize even the Die Rock. It was shut down so quickly.
Yeah.
So AP Bren did not lose a single turret there in that game. That was tough.
The game plan was early game. They wanted to get a lead as fast as possible, and it just didn't work. The Nolan, the Paquito, everything that AP Bren had, they had to control the tempo. They had to dictate the tempo.
Well, again, we're going to go ahead take a look at the MVP of the game. Is it going to be Ogwin here? No, it's not. Again, he learned from the previous days.
Nice.
He's now 5-1-4 on the Paquito Flap TZ. Nice.
Coming with a really remarkable performance after
Full
saying
damage
that,
Paquito.
yeah, he's going in for with those like lift and right punches.
Loaded gloves.
So, I mean, that would be illegal in a boxing fight, right?
That's a whole lot of weapons in the
That's a
gloves.
whole lot of weapon for a boxer, my friend.
I would say that this game he had a knockout against Team ChezyGaming, and also I would say that it's not only Flap TZ that was shining this game, also at some point Ogwin with his irritating engages, the forgotten MVP, and this is one of the moments where I said you should just appreciate that the AB Brain are overcommitting to the final to the engage on the Boxy the King, and you can just divine judgment him and take him underneath your turret. This was the shutdown that Team ChezyGaming could have had their rebounds from, but again, this was the time where Super Marco just took kills, right?
Yeah, this leads into that, but you know, there it is.
Ouch.
There's the double we were talking about from Flap. And this is what I love. I always say this currently where we are with the XP laners, man. I love the fact that these XP laners can pull plays like this, pull highlights like this. You know, it's not just that dead lane anymore. You have an impact throughout the majority of the game. And, you know, Flap Cheesy here, he just put on a clinic on how to play this Paquito at a very aggressive style.
And also having the clout for Team ChezyGaming at this point, they picked up a really good scaling hero, but yet they haven't shown him the much of help, I would say. They didn't help him through the game itself. They haven't, I wouldn't say babysit him, but at least at least put some resources on the gold lane. Kosei had to be his own man on that lane. But looking here at the statistics, how much are we in? Is it like 13k difference when it comes to gold? It's almost 13k when it comes to gold. And in a 15-minute almost game, no turrets have been touched by Team See You Soon.
Yeah, it's, you know, as we said, no turret went down. They didn't really find a moment to actually push in to the side of AP Bren's side of the map at all, right? Because the gold lead, they held it together for at least in the early game, but then it just slipped out of their hands without, really, it was a messy fight that just highly went in favor of AP Bren, especially on the gloves of Flapteezy with that double.
Playing and behind the scenes from side of Few here, dealing a lot of damage, a decent amount of damage. He was even backing it up with a Holy Crystal coming on the way. But looking at MP the King, he was going for a semi-tanky approach, having the War Axe and also following up with some of the tanky builds. But the interesting thing here from Team See You Soon is that they actually had the 2 roaming combo, but I don't think that it was triggered by the end of the game. The rich guy, Super Marco, hitting a really good number here, 905 gold per minute. And Few, as I told you, as we have seen with Sans and also with him, the most amount of damage is dealt by this Novaria. She was so annoying to a point that, look at the charts here. She's almost double the damage from anyone in her team. Not just that, 85% of team fight participation. Not just the damage, also the vision.
A big part of what AP Bren was able to do, the fact that they dictated the pace was because of the Astral Echo. Always revealing See You Soon before any kind of ambush could happen, right? And that is truly the main counter to a team like this. A team that wants to pick you off, a team that wants to catch you by surprise. Nothing's a surprise anymore with Novaria. Christmas isn't fun with Novaria.
Yeah, it's not, right? And not only that, but when you have the Kanja, that's your game plan. You know, the game plan is to pretty much go and get a pickoff, but when you have a Novaria across from you, that's where it gets a little tough, right? You're not able to actually get the pickoffs, whether you utilize the conceal or not, then you have to rely on the flicker combination with the Divine Judgment. So it was just stopped completely there. And also when the sandbag of the team is a Dairoth, that doesn't feel very good, right? Because you are there to get at least that armor penetration through and then the follow-up. But he was just taken out of the picture every single time.
He was the tank. He was the damage soaker, the sandbag, and that's what we saw, man. The Dairoth just died.
Yeah, as I told you, they don't have that hero that can actually absorb damage. No one to just engage and have this courage to just fly in or like face check any bush. Kaja, I wouldn't say that this hero can actually go inside a bush and go outside of it if it was a death bush. Also at Dairoth, as I told you, with the second skill, he cannot commit to anything, but he needs to either commit fully or to flicker out. And flickering out is not an option, I guess, early in the game. And he flickered out at one point and then he got punished, right?
I get the idea, right? I mean, the best defense is offense in a lot of scenarios, and that's what See You Soon were trying to do. But when your offense, when your spearhead, that pickoff game was already revealed to the whole team, there's not much. Even when they tried desperately to chase Super Marco down, they were the ones punished.
Yeah, and that's why you always have to look at it like, what is the snowball potential of this lineup? And when it gets too out of hand, even when you are outnumbering, they were chasing Super Marco, you actually still couldn't get a kill here, right? So when you talk about all that stuff, and you have to kind of really think, all right, how does See You Soon adjust for Game 2's draft as we're minutes away from it? You kind of have to think, all right, well, one, are they going to be flipping sides, of course, and then what do they prioritize, right? And building up on that lineup, too, I feel like if you want for See You Soon, though it's Game 2, you could still go for a utility jungler if you want, play around that so you can at least contest in some of those early objectives and then build up on that. Also, I would love to see, once again, mid lane, locking in something that allows you, whether they ban out the Novaria or not, maybe pick up the Valentina here, how they play around that, right? Because again, they need to start on the right foot against a team like AP Bren. Also, let's take a look at what Coach Ducky has to say here on basically AP Bren's tight games during the M5 group stage. He says, I'm thankful that there are games like that, that we have to play our brains out, because that way we get to see those small mistakes that we need to patch up, right? And basically what that leads to is just practicing your mind out.
Practice your mind out. That's what we saw from Occupy, right?
Yeah.
Back in M4.
Yes, sir.
And now that's what we're seeing from AP Brand. No wonder they're so good. No wonder they can go 0-7 and still win. They've practiced their minds out.
Practice their minds out.
Have you ever done that?
Have you ever done that, Yasu?
No, what is that? I want to keep up
He doesn't
with
understand the technology. Not just yet, Maisu.
Not yet.
You got to teach him how to practice his mind off.
I'll help you understand that later on, Yasu, right?
All right.
But again, going back to this quote, it is true. When you're put through the ringer, you have some of these challenging games. It's just the way it is, right? When you're put to the challenge, you're put to the test, you just improve from there. And I feel like it's funny because when you actually get a chance, for example, to talk to Coach Ducky and how this kind of environment that he's established for this lineup, it even happens back in the gym, right? Their workouts, they work out together constantly. And it's like a challenge in itself. So they get better in real life, they get better in the game. And when you just talk up to some of the players here, even for some reason, Ogwin especially, he loves to ask me how much I bench and whatnot. But the thing is they've said themselves, it actually really helped them when they are, working out, staying healthy in real life, to translating it into the game here. And that's kind of why I feel like we've seen them in their prime form throughout this whole year.
Well, there's a saying in Arabic, I don't know if it's like correctly translated to this, but the right body always contains the right brain, or like the right mentality. So following up on the quote from Coach Ducky here, I said, and earlier on, I don't remember if it was the wild card or here, but I said, who doesn't like to see a champion being challenged? And Team AB Bren at this moment, when they get challenged, we want to see how will a champion respond. And they are champions in the Philippines, and they also hold a title for the M Series. So would you guys say that they are on the right path to take this second M Series back home?
They're meant to be challenged, and that's the challenge right now. Game 2 against See You Soon and second M Series title. I definitely think they have what it takes to go all out, man. I mean,
be careful with your words.
M5 in the Philippines. It would be amazing to see a Filipino champion, would it not, Naisu?
It would be, What was that saying in that opening video? The no host country.
No host country has ever won M Series before.
Sounds like you, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. That's kind of what's at stake here. And if you're asking that, Yasu, I would say, man, they are in prime form and they're well on their way to getting one step closer, right? Now ahead of them is See You Soon. They got to get through this series. They're off to a great, very strong start if you look at game 1 alone. And of course, what's ahead of them, right? Because even when we looked at the games yesterday and the day 1 of the knockouts, teams are looking pretty good, right? So you can't at this point, you can't really count out any team just yet, because we've seen some crazy things over the course of, where we ended up even today.
Well, speaking of today, and I would actually like to bring up the previous draft from Team See You Soon. When they picked up the Dairoth, I was like, who's he gonna be bursting down? Because there was none, and at the end, there was also none tanky heroes, I would say. So there was no tanky heroes from the side of Team AB Brand. So who would Gerald actually burst down or use his physical penetration upon?
I think that's a brilliant point to make, man. I feel like the Dairoth pick was way too early, right? The fact that they picked it in the first phase after seeing a Nolan
and an Arlet,
that was Bruno and an Arlet. Usually we see that against the Fredrin, we see that against the Baksha, a lot of tanky utility junglers or even just tanky XP laners. So definitely agree on that point. There's not even any defense to penetrate. Flapteasy went full damage.
He went full damage there. And looking at this, the player head-to-head, Few and Ra, right? Then I love that the fact too that Angela's there for Ra, because he had a very defining moment on Angela back in the group stage. So, maybe that might be the route they want to go if it's not banned out, if it's not picked up. Few, on the other hand, he loves the Novaria. And this time around, I would like to see either See You Soon just ban it out, don't have to deal with it, right? Or possibly pick it up for themselves and kind of play around that. Because still, when you're looking at these matchups here, I know, once again, we really compared the junglers, but, for me, See You Soon, they want to be able to match up, especially in the mid lane. And I feel like going against Few, just the amount of accolades this man has himself might be a little bit of pressure, right, for Rob. But so far from what we've seen, even from the group stage, I gotta say, he's well built for this. He's well built for this matchup. And it would be a statement if, once again, See You Soon puts the pieces to the puzzle correctly to get that first win against AP Bren here.
Yeah, and actually Team See You Soon on the group stage, they have shown us that they can play the assassins really good and also the utility heroes when it comes to the jungle. So actually taking Fuse Novaria down is not so hard for MP the King, because yes, Novaria is far behind in those backlines, but yet she's reachable when it comes to an assassin hero. So maybe we'll see a Joy come in, or maybe another Lancelot. But yeah, he's really brilliant when it comes to positioning, but taking a Novaria out is not a hard job.
Yep.
Yep, just
Not
ban
really
it
that
out.
hard. I mean, especially ban it out.
Ban it out.
Maybe.
The starter can just take it away, but that's the problem, right? The fact that the reliable assassins who can actually dive into the back has been taken care of early on in the draft by AP Brent. They know exactly what they were doing. They set it up. Not only was the Nolan set up, but also the back line was set up for better than greatness. You know, I wanted to say greatness, but
That works too.
we just gotta say better than great. But
If you don't say better than great at least, a handful of times, what are you doing?
70 times.
70
So 7
times?
is better than 6, and 6 is great.
What about
Right?
8?
Like
It's better than
that's better than great.
All right.
Maybe that's M6. We don't know, right? Now, we'll see later, but for now, it's better than great. And that's what I see from AP Brent. They're so good at just foreshadowing and understanding what's going to come next in the draft, preparing for it, and then just capitalizing on every single mistake that See You Soon makes in the draft and in the game.
Well, See You Soon are actually known for their early game aggressive heroes and aggression. So, and also the XP laner, he's known for his front lane heroes. Yet, I have seen him play Diroth. But when it comes also to the rumor, pick off, yes, he followed up his strategy mid poking. I wouldn't say that Paramis is like my cup of tea when it comes to poking, but yet they are kind of playing their game the way they are used to. But again, when it comes to that draft, I wouldn't agree with the Diroth. I would agree with everything else, but not the Diroth. If it's up to you guys, who would you have chosen as a front laner against Team AB Bren instead of the Diroth?
Terizla.
Who was banned.
No, he was
Another.
banned in the second phase.
Yeah, he was banned in the second phase.
Dyroth was picked in the first phase.
Yeah,
So if you were telling me to replace Dyroth, it should be the
Oh,
first
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But we'll find out how they decide to approach game number 2 here as we load up into the draft. Once again, if you missed game 1, it was very dominant for AP Bren. We'll see how See You Soon adjusts for game 2. And again, to answer your question, Yasu, I'd possibly even go with an Edith. Just
An Edith.
go with an Edith. Front lane, but also you have some damage as well. Now, looking at this, AP Brent's still going to be on the blue. See You Soon on the red. Bans, though, a little bit of a variation here, right? The Nolan is going to be taken out.
They had to.
Get him out of here.
Learning from the previous lesson. It's like saying the same pattern actually, banning the Phoebus and then the Joy, and on the other hand we saw, if I'm not mistaken, was a 1-1 from the side of Team See You Soon, but this time they know the danger, they know how much Kyle Chezy is really good with that Nolan.
It's too deadly, man.
It is.
Yeah.
I will choose my
He was so fast as well.
The dude was stealing camps early on as an assassin against a Lancelot, someone that you would expect to clear fast, but Nolan does it better.
Nolan is just, I don't know.
He's just him, bro.
He is him, right? At that point. But I feel like some teams know how to answer the Nolan.
He left his daughter, but he's him.
Where's
Laura?
that is lore, I know.
Accurate. Yeah.
That's 100% lore, man.
He went out to save the world, though, so it's a good reason, right?
Hey, stay
Yeah.
here. I'm going to go save the world.
Yes.
And I'm also, I don't know if he's actually the most picked. He's one of the most picked. Yeah. Right?
Layla turned
Yeah.
out fine, right?
She's fine. Yeah. Eventually, we're still, hopefully we see Layla one day in an M series, man.
It's
Really?
I think it's MPL Malaysia when
Yeah.
Chiku played
Yeah.
it.
But it hasn't come to the world stage just
Not yet. Hopefully in the future.
Like, why not in one draft, Nolan and Layla? Just for,
for lore.
just for the lore.
You know what? Actually, one of the picks that I was mainly playing, which I think will nearly impossible happen to have here in the M series, is Kimi. Yeah, I think she's just like so forgotten by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flashback to M1, right? I mean, Kimmy was a hot pick back in M1.
Yeah. There's some PTSD, I'm sure, for some people out there with playing against Kimby. So going to it, first phase of these bans are already going to be out. it was actually CSU that also just took out the Angela, right? They decided to take it out. AP Bren left to the first pick. What are we feeling? Is it going to be a Valentina? Is it going to be a Tarizla? What are we thinking, Yasu, real quick?
I think a Valentina here is really safe because she can get the best use out of the Faramis and so on. But yeah, also the Guinevere.
Man.
Yeah, the Guinevere is one of those picks that you should really take care of. And also, a lot of teams here in the tournament have used her as a roamer, as a jungler, and as an XP laner. So we don't know. We don't know what's AB Brand plan for Guinevere so far.
That's why it's so good, right? It's not only just a prio pick in the jungle that can get you so much control from neutral objectives to ganks to CC to engage, but it can be flexed.
Not only can it be flexed in the role, it can be flexed in the build.
Yeah,
You're right.
Which
you
is
can
what
take the Ray Ash version of damage.
Yeah.
And add upon that low CD, low cooldown.
Yeah.
She can keep on making people fly in the air.
And spatial migration's kind of strong.
Kinda. Stun the guy now before you knock him up. That's broken.
That's why teams love it, right? Now, answer is going to be the 1-1 and the Faramis. How do we feel about this? We've seen some great things from 1-1 on various teams, and we've seen some not so great things, right? So how are we feeling, Yasu?
I would say that this is the best time to pick off a Kaja right now, because taking a Kaja would be... I would say if he wasn't picked here by Team Bren, it will be banned for sure. Because you need a tank, or like you need a roamer generally, that can take off the 1-1 when it comes to the crossbow of Tang, and also the setups that Team Season and the plans that they have for a 1-1. And if AB Bren didn't do that, but in this moment, they will regret it later on. But Team AB Bren, he can also take the Valentina. Claude is really good as a matchup, but I think Boxy, not Boxy the King, but Kosei will have a really good time ulting, or like at least starting the crossbow of Tang on Khalid.
Interesting that they take the Khalid here, right?
Yeah.
So they have that. Super Marco's got his Claude. They can work around that. So really, I'm going to be looking at CSU and how do they want to deal with some of this? Because Khalid, not only now do you have the Guinevere and a ton of CC just in her kit alone, but you got to deal with the Khalid as well, right?
Yeah.
So you need to be able to answer that, or at least survive that exchange, right? Because so far, when Khalid is locked in, he's usually the guy to go in second, right? Really to follow up or cut off the path. And that could be a problem here for CSU, especially basing it off how some of those early skirmishes went the previous game, right? So already, you mentioned this earlier, there's the Kaja once again for CSU.
Season picking off this Kaja is really good again against a Claude, but we haven't seen Boxy the King do, I would say, accept the gifts that were given by Team AB Bren at some point, but yet we will see his execution this time. Looking back at Team AB Bren's draft, I would say that they really have a really good draft when it comes to area crowd control and also the setups that can be built for the Claude to go in. I would say that adding up, or like, already the mages picked off here. Okay, so have AB Bren having that Minotaur at Tigreal will be lethal at this point.
Yeah, I mean, any dive comp will be very, very lethal to go up against a Minotaur, especially Master Ogwen's Minotaur. Oh, one of his signature picks. See you soon. Take it away instantly. We're not going to let you match up this Kaja, this Faramis, with that Minnow.
Yeah, not only that, AP Bren on the other side, I think maybe they still continue to focus on the XP lane here, right? At least even take out the Tarizla possibly, if they want to go that route. Deal with that, because that would actually round things up really well for CSU. So that's the Martis being banned out, right? Focusing on some of those utility jungler options here for MP the King. Might be wanting to force him, you know, on something a little more risky once again to go against AP Bren here. So we'll see what the answer here is. What are you thinking for the last ban?
Well, for Team AB Bren, I would say that they should continue on banning the utility heroes, because no assassin and no one can actually burst neither like the Khalid or the Guinevere, not mentioning that they still can pick off a heavy tank. So I would continue on banning the utility heroes.
I agree. I love that, right? The fact that they ban out the Martis, not just the utility, but ban out the aggressive heroes, the heroes that can actually look to snowball. The worst pick on MP is a hero that's safe, and that's what AP Bren are trying to force on him. They want to try to force MP to play a safe pick. Play the Fredrin, it may be meta, but on your hands, with someone as flashy as you, you need that playmaking capability.
Ooh, if they go the Fredrin here, I think I think that could work, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I said this before we even loaded into the draft. I was like, you know, I'd love to see ChezyGaming. I know technically they're a team, and this is a region thing, actually. The region is just very team fight oriented. They love to just duke it out, right? That's something. Yeah, Cambodia itself, they have what now, 4 or 5 teams just all competing at a very similar level here. So we'll see, right? Do they actually want to opt for a more, a slower paced jungler lineup here? Yes, you have the Kaja, still able to help pick people off, but obviously even the 1-1, right? You need some time to build up. You have to have the right conditions to get the crossbow of Tang off. And then even so, right, we see so many teams obviously playing around with the Wind of Nature and the Winter Transient switches, right, to deal with the crossbow of Tang in certain situations. So once again, for ChezyGaming, we'll see if they decide to pick up the XP laner right now. What's left on the table? Again, we haven't seen much Yuzhong, man. We got a great statue in front of us. We see some great graphics behind us, but Yuzhong has kind of fallen off, especially back from M4.
We need another buff.
We need another buff.
And Team ChezyGaming need a Trizla here. I was about to say that they need some crowd control. I know that they have the Kaja, but still, you can kind of assure 1-1 in the late game phase when it comes to the crossbow of Tang. As you said, we might see some people use the Wind of Nature or like play around this crossbow of Tang, but yet, Team ChezyGaming having the Trizla is really good, but what are they missing? The jungler. Huh.
Oh, man.
A Baxia maybe?
For AB Brenner or ChezyGaming? For ChezyGaming, the Baxia could be a good choice. I like the Baxia, actually. For this composition, they have a lot of damage already. Someone who can just roam around the map, get some more mobility, would be great. But for AB Bren, I'm thinking something crazy. A pick that maybe Filipinos won't be too happy about, but...
Oh.
No, okay, don't go for it.
Yeah,
I was like, Florin, you know? No, Tigreal.
Is he still in crazy territory?
It's Chad Ogwen time. No, it's not crazy
It's not crazy anymore?
Apex, literally, Apex 47 changed.
I mean, the wild card, he started to pop up.
Yeah,
so, like, it was crazy then.
It was crazy. Now it's tame.
Yeah.
Now it's normal.
But it's still Tigreal, man.
It went from Lafell to Gideon, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy to normal.
The guy that sounds like you.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's Lafell, literally Hellkurt, remember?
I asked a wise man before why Hellkurt is so good in Malaysia, and he told me you cannot do a lot of things when everything is dark. So I don't know if AB Bren will be able to work in the dark or not.
Hey, unless you got night vision somewhere, right?
Arashi's got that.
Arashi, tactical. Shout out to Arashi out there, but okay. Lineups are locked in here. Yasu, take us through it real quick.
Real quick, AB Bren, as I told you, if you added a Tigreal or a miniature, their combination will be so lethal because they have a really good setup so far with the Cloud, not mentioning also having a Tigreal. That's a really good composition, but I wanted to actually say that Team ChezyGaming need someone to carry on the early game. Having a Hellcut can actually pick off someone at some point, and I think that 1-1 somewhere in the game will be taking care of the rest.
Well, we're going to find out here as we load up into the Land of Dawn. It's game number 2 after a decisive game 1 from AP Bren. Can ChezyGaming utilize this Hellkurt and even out the series 1-1.
In game 1, we said MP needs a pick to be able to jump on Few, on that Novaria. Yes. I think this is a good response to the question that we asked in game number 1.
Well, Nice said you can ban it out, but it seems like it's not banned out. They will actually go for this approach. But here's the thing. I think that MP, the King, need a lot of, I would say, camping to get Few, because Few with his positionings is really good. Super Marco is here losing so much HP to Kosei.
Wait,
what?
Overnight. He knows the limits here, right? I mean, there is no crossbow of Tang right now, so he's gonna go ahead and just deal with that. We'll go back to base, but also emblems here, anything that sticks out, Yasu.
Well, I see that 1-1 is going so hard for this damage, and also the Hellkurt will actually be... he's farming so fast right now because of his emblems. What else is standing out? I couldn't actually have a look. Maybe in the next time we'll have a better look. But I would say that there's a really good point I forgot to mention, that when you have a rumor that can actually reveal the other rumor, you kind of have an idea of how the rotation works on the opponent's side.
Bro, Kosei went for the Master Assassin emblem. That's why he was able to do so much damage solo in lane. That's what Kusei wants to do, and maybe that might be a reflection as to what he wants to look for in this game. Perhaps this 1-1 is more of a split-pushing 1-1 in the early stage to get that advantage, and then later on, he will pivot to more of a team-fighting, normal 1-1 gameplay.
Yeah, he wants to go meet Super Marco on this signature pick of his 1-for-1 and deal with it. Try to get that advantage if he can, but now first objective going to be up that turtle. MP the King going to get in position. Also keep an eye on that bottom side. Multiple members here.
Two-man spatial migration into the Requiem. Felix falls under it. And that's first blood. The first time maybe that Soon doesn't get first blood, but MP, he says, we don't need it. We'll go for the objective. It's 1-1.
Good trade. Yasu, how do you feel about that?
Kyle doesn't like it. That's how he feels about it. Spatial migration into Flapteezy's Raging Sandstorm into an invade early on. They want to force it. Foxy gets knocked up, slashed down by Flapteezy. And MP doesn't have the retreat. He can't go for the commitment onto the purple buff. Felix has rotated over with Rob. That's a penalty zone. That's a 2. Ogwen gonna be knocked up for a bit. Kaltizi with the defensive spatial migration. The implosion comes in as well, but another realm saves them, gets them out. Kaltizi, though, was able to sneak that steal from under the rug.
Wow, using all these spills at this particular time so early.
It's another one. It's a Requiem. It's Felix taken down again.
Flashback to the previous game for Felix here.
No, Felix, not Felix. He's sorry.
He's sorry now. So for Team CS soon, actually, I would say that not having the flicker on Boxy the King, they are committing to Super Marco. They want to make him have the worst time of his life.
Yeah, they gotta kind of put pressure here if they want to. Right now, though, the fact that you have 3 kills for AP Bren and 2 of those are in the hands of Kyle Teasy, it's gonna be a little bit tougher here now for MP the King, right? But if he can continue to play around the ultimate, the Darkness Falls has that advantage. They might turn something around here, right? But the fact that Kyle Teasy has kind of this early spike going on could be troublesome.
Implosion against the Divine Judgment, and that's going to be the silence as well. Crossbow attack translating over to the back line. Now it's a Raging Sandstorm! Flapteezy! What a play!
Hey, as I said, that Khalid, sometimes he's the second one to go in and capitalize on positioning, and that's exactly what happened there.
This is the kind of final touch I would like to have, actually, because the Khalid followed up so perfectly. This was almost... Felix. What was that?
He missed the penalty zone. Now Kyle, spatial migration to get out. It's all fine and dandy, but my God, I'm still on that play. I'm still on the play.
That initiation, man, it looks so good. When the Khalid uses the flicker alongside the Sandstorm, it looks clean as it can be. So with all that unfolding, again, Kyle Teasy in position to go ahead and just freely take this turtle here, the second one of the game. We'll be able to cap that in. MP the King, though. Is it to a point where you pick up a risky hero like this and now you're too far behind in the early game to actually contest some of these?
It's almost like Flap saw the play of the day and he said, I want that. I want to be play of the day tomorrow. Walk us through this, Yasu.
Well, I think that the one who walks that through this was the Khalid. This was the moment where everything went down for Team CS soon, having the Sandstorm raging upon Team CS soon. They just got wiped out.
I don't know, man. Again, Flap had probably that one chocolate yesterday. He's like,
he was
never
mad.
again.
He's mad now. He's mad.
Still going to be going here. Early pressure in the bottom side, but just trying to keep it together. Echo going to come down. There's the conceal, though. Ogwin. Okay, he's going to call it off.
I just want to see these flicker ultimates, man. I want to see these flicker ultimates being triggered once and again and again and again. Because Team AB Bren have really wonderful setups and really good follow-ups. But when you look here at both ends, we will see that both of these teams have this hero that can actually pull off a really good late game when it comes to the Cloud also. When we speak about the 1-1, but again, who have the upper hand in the early game? Who is controlling the game in the early phase? It's AB Bren. In a matter of 6 minutes in, we have 3K gold lead. Not just that, MP the King at some point gave up on the trades. He's just farming by now.
Felix knocked up again. That's a lot of airtime, and Felix jumps into the penalty zone onto the front. Super Marco able to back up with the battle mirror image. That's a blazing duet as well. MP is going to be able to deal damage onto Kyle, taking him down. Now MP low, Super Marco going back and forth. MP farming. The rest of AP Brent trying to help him out. It's just going to be Felix traded in for Kyle. That's worth it for See You Soon.
Yeah, so you can already see, right? MP the King, he only had the DHS, but he has respectable damage. So somehow, some way, they got to continue to build on that, right? Gold lead obviously still in favor of AP Bren, 3K ahead. But See You Soon, if they just have to find wins where they can, then that might be best for them. Again, you have a Kaja. Try to get some of these pickoffs later on. Give up some of these objectives if you can't actually go toe-to-toe with them. But still, find wins where you can to stay in the game here for See You Soon.
Oh. Spatial migration as a Purify instantly. Felix, penalty zone, just the zone. That's a Raging Sandstorm connecting again. MP still able to escape. Now it's going to be the re-engage. Flapteezy flickering backwards. Ogwen with a good shove back to defend Flapteezy, but he will fall in this mid lane. It's See You Soon who picks up a win in the trade department.
This game is unlike the previous game. See You Soon are actually helping Kosei to build up his damage, to build up his gold lane lead. And right now, even though he died one time, Boxy, the king, is following him up. It's like he's having a tag on the back of Kosei. He is there for him whenever there is someone coming to the bot lane. But let's have a look here at the items. I would say that who have the lead, actually? I think that both of these gold laners are toe-to-toe.
Yep, 400 gold lead, not that much in the gold lane matchup. A few minion waves and it's done, right? So,
yeah.
Speed.
Yeah, when you're spotted, you know, you can't run away in the night. So not only that, but they get more damage on this base turret. The shields are going to be taken down. They got the tier 2 earlier, so that is a big win for AP. You know, for the second time, honestly, the Conjure just has not been able to do what it's meant to do, right, at this point in the game. You really haven't seen many pickoff potentials happening or, you know, taking that numbers advantage right in their favor with the Conjure. But look at this already. There's the Conceal. Boxy gonna get spotted out too. The rest of the team still in the mid lane. Lord now up though. Does See You Soon actually want to contest this Yasuo? Are they in the position to?
They can actually go in with the, like if MB the King make everything dark, they can actually go in for a steal, but they cannot commit with the full pack of them. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Flicker Divine Judgment onto the tank right now. The crossbow tank and the transfer over to Flapteezy as he tries to escape, gets the healing. Ogwen down, the main source of initiation, the main source of CC, but they still have Kyle and Flap.
Okay, so they just go ahead, reset it for now, but See You Soon, Kyle TZ could go in with the spatial migration, but once again, See You Soon still doing a relatively good job here given how behind they are. So they gotta wait. Again, penalty zone not gonna be available just yet, but the flicker is there. We'll see. AP Brent still approaching it calmly.
Yeah.
They want to be careful. They don't want to overcommit. They know that this could possibly slip in favor of See You Soon if they overcommit. They're going to get in position and they give the Lord a go.
Ogwen's back. That's Felix who jumps into the back, but he's all alone. The Netherrealm gets him to safety, but AP Brent take the Lord and disengage.
Wow, the Divine Judgment is not there just to serve Kosei. It's also there to serve MP the King, and this time having the fleeting time for Team See You Soon on that Kaja is actually helpful, and also this time they are different because they have someone to front the damage, but the question here, do they have the damage enough? Do they have the clearance that they need to defend this next Lord? They are already behind an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, this is tough. Once again, the position that See You Soon is in, they've got to deal with it. It is only the first Lord, right? But you can already see, too, Ogwen looking for his own setup potential with the Conceal, with the Flicker Implosion combination. Flapteezy as well. This is the prime positions for these Khalid picks as they assault into the base here. We'll see if See You Soon keeps it together. Again, that shield was already taken down earlier. So this is going to be... Turret still going to be up for now, actually. But the waves will be pushing in. AP Brent still trying to respect the fact that See You Soon could turn something around if they find an overstep. But right now, another tier 2 will fall. AP Brent continues to get space. There's Foxy.
Conceal.
Flicker Divine Judgment. Oh, it's Flap who gets locked down entirely in the Divine Judgment and the zone.
AB Brand at this point, they can cause chaos with these picks, but again and again, See You Soon, and especially Boxy the King finds his target with that Divine Judgment. Looking here at the items, both the marksman. Oh, there is a lead now. There is a lead. So 4 items to 3 for that cloth for Super Marco, and we all know that Super Marco is really good on the scaling heroes. And also, if you looked a little bit on the Glimmer, you will find out that she might freeze out at some point and make an outplay.
All right, this might help too. The fact that Boxy has the immortality.
Yeah.
He can play a little bit more, you know,
Risky.
front. Yeah, be a little bit more risky here. But still, relatively, he's got to wait for that flicker available for a lot of these plays. You can see the damage, though, that is there for See You Soon.
Oh.
The problem is, how long does AP Bren let this happen?
Boxy.
Walks up, dodges away. That's a penalty zone from Felix into the mid. Teasy missing the Raging Sandstorm. The Netherrealm grants them safety. Kyle Teasy falls. And now the chase continues. It's going to be Ogwen who falls as well. It's Kusei who picks up the killing spree. And just like that, 2 kills on the board for See You Soon. An outplay over an outplay.
This is the point where the front laners shine. Sorry, Felix is not actually sorry. He went in with that penalty zone, taking 5 members, having this glimpse of the Boots gameplay today. It's not only Flapteezy who's inspired, it's also Sorian Felix.
Hey, like we saw from the play of the day yesterday, right?
Yes.
Sorian Felix can have a hell of an early game, getting just bullied, but sometimes all it takes is one great penalty zone, right? And that's kind of what happened there. Once again, Lord going to be up.
Oh, what a divine judgment! A fadeaway pull. Well played to Mr. Boxy the King.
Man.
Yeah.
There's no getting away from that, right? You can't, that's what we were looking for. He didn't even have to use the flicker, so now with this play, See You Soon is going to go ahead and march down some of these turrets that they needed for a while. Once again, last game, they had trouble even getting a single turret, but with this lineup that is starting to get to a point now where it's online, See You Soon is where they have to be. The gold lead has been diminished for the majority of it, and now they can continue knocking down these turrets.
Yeah, the clean record now is in danger. Team See You Soon, and also especially the fleeting time on Boxy the King. He can keep on taking 1 by 1 from Team AB Brennan. Not just that, as I told you, look, still few holds the most damage dealt, but it's not about the most damage dealt, it's about how much damage dealt in the specific moment that your team needs. And in this moment, it's See You Soon.
Conceal.
Yeah.
Looking for Kyle.
Ooh.
Cancelled out. Spatial migration. No Requiem just yet committed. See You Soon looking to look to force another siege with the Enhanced Lord in the mid lane, with the bottom lane as well. But they're not able to do it just yet. AP Bren, they're able to do the housekeeping very well. That's a by judgment, and that's Flapteezy locked down. Ra picks up the kill.
Decisive again. See You Soon has figured out how to layer it down. Boxy, though, going to take a couple shots, has the immortality, like I mentioned, so we'll be fine. But so far, they're holding it together here. Still eyes on this mid turret.
Kyle.
Spatial migration.
Whoa.
Again, a penalty zone on the Super Marco, still able to dash out with the battle mirror image, and that, my friend, was a bit of an overextension. Ogwen looking to punish, walking them down. Ra walks through the walls, MP blinks through the wall, and See You Soon. We'll see AP Bren soon.
That's what I said earlier on in the previous game. We just need one front laner, someone to take the hits, but not like that. Don't go super aggressive like that, but someone to take the kills, the damage, and Boxy the King can just grab whoever comes in his hand to trigger a crossbow of Tang, or even to make an opening for MP the King with his assassin heroes. So if we saw such draft in the previous game, things might have actually became this way also.
The thing, you know, as we look at the items there, we see See You Soon now having this very minuscule lead. The one thing that we have to consider is AP Bren has done this before, Super Marco has done this before, and it's that split push, that backdoor possibility. See You Soon cannot tunnel vision on these preceding Lord fights, right? We've seen teams do that before. So right now, they have to keep things in order. They have to keep their eye as well on that bottom side. That's where a lot of that pressure is going to go for, right? They're going to try to get that turret down eventually. So for See You Soon, keeping those things in mind as they approach this Lord take, this Lord dance, we'll see how it unfolds. It could go highly in their favor if Boxy can do what he's been doing the past few minutes, just go for a pickoff and get that numbers advantage. But you can already see Kyle Teasy getting the Lord started here, positioning to like I said, Super Marco and Ogwin also keeping tabs on the bottom side. But see you soon kind of has an idea what's going on, right? They want to be able to be in the position where they can get that pick off, and that's exactly why Boxy is crucial here as this all unfolds. Echo gonna drop. 4 members being spotted out. We'll see how it all plays out here.
Oh, someone needs to face check.
Penalty zone onto Kyle, trying to delay
Marco.
him from looking for a steal right now. It's not easy. Jumps in with the raging sensor, but look at the pullback from Boxy to set up for MP to find that Restream for free. Now it's Kuse against Kyle. The Requiem is ready. Oh! Snipe down from View to deny the crossbow attack. As AP Bren look to disengage, but Felix is walking past Ogwin. As an explosion on the 2. Super Marco coming down with a blazing duet, as that's gonna be the shave all the way to bring them back. Boxy losing immortality, another spatial migration to knock him off. Boxy, 1 HP, a good purify. Right as the penalty zone gets dropped down, Ra picks up a mega kill as he dives deep.
Oh, again, Super Marco was there on the bottom side, realized that the fight was not in favor of AP Brent, came back, and was there a little bit too late, but so far, good answer once again from See You Soon. They still have the Lord going down the bottom side. They held on to their base turret. And right now, See You Soon in the driver's seat of this game. AP Bren, though, how do they deal with this? They got a couple of the immortalities out. But right now, See You Soon charging up into the base of AP Bren.
It's gonna be so hard if there's a penalty zone. But what's this damage on Super Marco?
What's the damage on Felix? MP getting sniped down, poked down. Kuse now
The
respawning,
base.
coming down. That's a penalty zone to lock Boxy. He's blazing into the back line, and a battle mirror image to the front. The base is wide open, though. They're targeting it. AP Bren will not be able to defend. Just barely one last shot was all they needed. Equalizer from See You Soon in game number 2.
What a game from See You Soon from Cambodia, able to even out the series and give AP Brent a loss here in this series. We're in for a great one ahead of us, Yasu.
That was a perfect gameplay from Team See You Soon, and this was the taste of defeat for the Filipino champions Team AB Brent. This is the first time they lose since the beginning of the series, and also I would say that was a really good draft coming from the side of Team See You Soon. Well executed.
Yeah, again, it looked like it was going to be a similar situation for them from game 1, how things were unfolding, but a great response, a great just pick too. I love the Hellcurt that ended up working out here for them. And again, I feel like there was also a little bit of a redemption arc here too for Sorry, I'm Felix, man. Rough game 1, rough early game 2, but man, did those penalty zones change some of the course of those early team fights here.
And Felix was the man to end the game. He was the one last standing in that base, swinging as his immortality got popped.
Yeah, again, just an amazing rally there for See You Soon to come back through this game. Again, the deficit they worked against, so many of them pulled their weight, so many of them with MVP here. But again, it all unfolded here. MP the King, that Hellcurt pick that we wondered and were surprised about. I think it's only showed up once so far, but now it came out swinging for game number 2.
MP the King chose violence, and he chose to go for a full damage approach, just this immortality to have an opportunity to go for the base and finish, and that's what he done. He just turned the light off and went in for the base straight ahead, and then Team C soon got the victory. Let's look upon the highlights here from both sides. I think that Team AB Bren were in the driver's seat since the beginning. They had a really good start, but everything started to crumble down after this penalty zone that had been triggered by the Terizla early on. But here was this one perfect moment for Team AB Bren. I think there was like 7-1, yeah, 7-1. But after that, the Divine Judgment wasn't utilized just for Kosei. It was also used for MB the King, and every time he was there, he dealt the damage needed to take anyone down and everyone down from Team AB Bren.
Man, again, looking at this, the highlights here kind of unfold, you can just see how well synergized See You Soon is, and even when they're down, like they were in that early part of the game, even with a crazy setup from AP Bren, they stuck together, they pulled it around, and they end up winning these team fights. It was like Boxy then decided, okay, we got this figured out, right? I'm going to go ahead and Divine Judgment these targets. You guys are going to follow up. You let Kosei fly, and it all unfolds from there. And even with this, again, look at Super Marco's positioning. He was pushing into this. That's what I was talking about before this all unfolded. Realizes, all right, the team fight's not going in our favor. I got to get back. Great shot there from Few, but ultimately, they end up losing out here.
I gotta say, in the Lord pit, Boxy just waiting for Kyle Chezy was the standout to me, right? He was just holding back, waiting for the right moment for Kyle Chezy to look for the steal, and then Divine Judgment. That's it. No retry can be used up. Suppression. But this is what I've already said about See You Soon. It's almost like they take the name of the team, See You Soon, and they implement it into their gameplay. They will literally just see you soon in the game.
Yeah, you guys might be winning the early game, but hey, we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. They lose a team fight, we'll see you soon. We'll win the team fight sometime in the future if we don't win it early.
Now you don't.
Now you see me, now you don't. I'll see you soon, game 2.
There it is.
And also at some point, Team See You Soon, and especially Kosei, was holding on to that crossbow of Tang that at some point cost him his life. He was there as a sniper, taking every member down and even like actually opening the map for his team. At some points, he was just revealing 5 members with just one ultimate. But look here at AB Brand. Super Marco, even though he was trying to go for a split push approach and he was also trying to go for a full damage approach, he actually didn't die until the end. 5-0-5. Perfect game for Super Marco. As we have said, he have been using that Claude and taking the best out of him. So 5-0-5 in the losing side, I don't know, that actually hurts.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's tough because again, when you look at it, he's 5-0-5, but he had a lot of the, in a way, it was kind of a hesitation because you don't want to just go ahead and enter and then get, dealt with really quickly. Again, the burst, you saw all the pickoff potential, they were gone in a second or two, right? The burst potential from this lineup from See You Soon was very deadly. So Super Marco, at one point when things kind of unfolded, he was like, all right, I might just have to split push. Go for that split push win. This is also why Claude, for example, as a hero, works out really well for a lot of teams because it's very similar in a way where if you can't be there for some of these team fights, for some of those amazing setups with the blazing duets and pump out the damage, then you can still push those and put those the pressure on the side lanes.
Yeah, and actually what I liked about Boxy the King here in this game particularly is that he accepted, I wouldn't say the gifts because he was doing his work. He was going in and taking whomever he finds. It's not only always about taking the damage dealers. He wasn't focusing on the mage. Neither he was focusing on Super Marco. But yet, he was able to crack this formation open just by taking the front laners, just by taking those who can actually take damage from the side of Team AB Bren and then bring them as a gift. For his team, it was just about time for MP the King to deal his damage with the stacks and also for Kosei to follow up. So this formation here from Team See You Soon, this is a draft that you can actually salute the coach here. And from the other side, also AB Brand, as I told you, and I admired the draft from their side because they have a lot of airy crowd control heroes, but yet the execution for the draft was better by the side of Team See You Soon.
Yeah, I gotta respect, and I love the fact of what Cat God did here, aside from, how this was executed, right? It was it threw some of us off as well. We weren't exactly expecting the Hellcurt pickup. When you think of Hellcurt, you kind of throw it back to maybe Team Flash, right? You think about that, even with the Amon pick, but this time, it was See You Soon that pulled out the Hellcurt. They made it work, too. Yeah, it struggled a little bit, right, here and there, but ultimately, Boxy the King helped set things up. MP the King was able to shine, and the rest of the team, Kosei, once again. So wondering if they can actually replicate this, right, as they get ready for Game 3. So a lot kind of falling into the puzzle here for See You Soon. Now, how will AP Bren adjust? That's the question, right? Now, before we talk about Game 3 even further, we are going to be throwing it over to Mara out there on the stage or with the crowd. Let's see what they have to say out there with the fans.
All right, everybody, let me hear it from you. Bren Lang
Malakas!
Bren Lang Malakas. And one of the families that keep Bren strong is Few's family. Let's introduce yourselves.
I'm father's Few, Alan.
Alan.
Shirley, the mother.
Shirley, mommy.
Youngest sister, Samantha.
Youngest sister, Samantha.
Arvin po, brother of you.
Arvin, brother of Few. But you know, okay, let me just highlight Few's brother because you also play MLBB, right?
Yes po.
Tell us where.
AP brand po, MDL.
AP brand for MDL. Now, mommy, daddy, just earlier, Few won as one of the greatest 10 players in the entire world. So now he has another credential to put in the MLBB history. How proud are you when you saw that was happening earlier?
Very proud, actually. Simulat sa pool, very proud kami through ups and downs ng career niya.
From the beginning, you've been very proud of Few. Did you cry?
Siyempre.
Of course you did. Daddy, when you saw that he was getting awarded, what were you feeling? What was going through your heart and your mind?
Proud po ako sa kanya.
Proud sa kanya.
Always naman pong proud kami.
Always proud.
Saka lahat po ng sakripisyo niya na nakuha niya na ngayon dahil naging greatest siya sa buong mundo. Isa sa mga greatest.
And all his sacrifices were worth it.
Opo.
So, can you tell us a story about the sacrifices that he's made?
Actually, since nag-start siya noong 2018.
When he started 2018.
And then, nung nanalo sila
Yeah, he won.
for Signal Ultra. And then after, medyo naglaylo yung career niya. Pero hindi siya nag-settle doon. Bali, nag-strive pa rin siya para makapunta siya dun sa SEA Games. And then, after winning the SEA Games, bumalik ulit. And then now, nasa brand na siya.
Now, he's with brand.
And until now, dinidefend niya pa rin yung lahat ng titles na gusto niya.
That's right. Few started in 2018 and his career didn't go so well, but he didn't give up and he ended up representing the country in the SEA Games until he became part of Brand, now known as AP Brand, and his career has been shooting up ever since. So, Mommy, Daddy, let us know, what has Few done for the family? I mean, he's brought home a lot of prizes. So, how did he give back to the family?
Actually, nakapagpagawa na siya ng bahay.
He built you guys a home.
And then,
That's why now you live in Rizal.
yes, from Mandaluyong kami, pero nakapagpagawa siya ng bahay sa Rizal. Doon na kami nakalipat.
Oh, that's so nice. Do all of you, do you have your room? Your own room, Samantha?
Actually, lahat sila may
So
sarili.
Big Brother gave you a room. How about you? You get your own, do you have your own like computer setup because of Few?
Meron po.
Meron, Few. Oh my gosh. I want to be your sister. What else, Mommy, Daddy? What else does Few do for you guys?
Yung car namin. Sa kanya.
He also bought you a car.
And then, yun nga, yung family business, trying na mag-put na kami for this year.
And his next goal is to put up a family business.
Yes, po.
So basically, it sounds to me that Few is doing everything for the family. What does he do for himself?
Actually, low-key lang siya eh. Wala siyang binibili na pang sarili niya.
He's low-key, he doesn't buy anything for himself.
Parang food lang talaga, pagkain lang.
Just food?
Yun lang.
He's a
That's
world
the-
champion? And he just buys food?
Yes, the rest.
Mga damit, yung mga ano, hindi siya
Di ba,
mahilig sa
He doesn't
material.
even like buying clothes. That's why I always see him in the brand jersey. That's why I just see him in brand outfit. What are your wishes for Few? You know, right now he's watching you. Actually, Samantha, can you give Kuya a message? Because Kuya is watching you right now. He needs to hear from you para magkaroon siya ng kumpiyansa so his confidence will go up. What do you want to say to Kuya?
Go. I love you.
You can say anything. You can say anything.
Good luck.
Good luck. Ikaw naman bilang pro player, ano yung gusto mo, alam mo na gustong pakinggan bago sumabak sa napaka-importanting laro? What do you think Few needs to hear before he gets into this fight that's so intense?
Kuya, galingan mo po kahit anong mangyari. Makukuha mo rin po yung M5.
Yes. He's saying, Kuya, big brother, do a great job. You will get this M5. Mommy, Daddy, is there something that you want to say to Few?
Kahit anong mangyari, susuportahan ka namin. And alam namin na kukunin mo yung M5 na to.
Alam namin na kayang-kaya mo yan at ano man mangyari, nandito pa rin kami para sa'yo. Kahit anong mangyari.
Regardless what happens, they're supporting you. They'll be here for you. Thank you so much. It's so great to see the support of the family. And maybe if AP Bren wins the entire thing, you know, we can take few shopping so you can get more clothes. So it's not just the AP Bren jersey that he'll be wearing. So let's see how AP Bren does. We're gonna go back to our casters. Paso.
Thank you very much, Mara. And aside the family, there are a few. Once again, hey, I gotta say, if you had a jacket that looks as good as AP Bren's, I'd probably wear it all the time too.
Same. I mean,
You know?
you can't blame
Have
the
you got
man.
yours?
I haven't.
You
Me
better get on
neither.
that. You guys better get on that. Might be sold out soon.
I'm scared that if I wear it, they'll lose.
Oh.
So I'm
wait
doing
till
you
the-
guys a favor.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right.
But I was always confused, right? When I saw Fuse's name all the way from M2,
Yeah.
why does he have 2 W's? Now we know. He's a W. He's a double W man.
He's a double W,
Double
man.
W.
Hey, love to see it. Love to hear the stories. But now we do have to talk about the fact that they lost the previous game, right?
Yes.
There was a good adjustment from See You Soon as they head into game number 3. And I'm kind of wondering exactly what would kind of fall into place for them as they go into game 3, right? Real quick, though, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Welcome home, Kosei and MP the King. Kosei and MP the King on playing M5 in the Philippines. See You Soon's MP the King says home court advantage, and I feel excited and happy. That's about the amount of words I expected, right? So
They're a man of few words.
Man of few words.
They're simple but deadly.
Hey, man, I don't know. After hearing all the interviews and stuff from, you know, Kid Bomba, this is, you kind of forget, right?
You kind of forget, you know, the norm is, I feel excited and happy.
Yeah.
Hey, it works, right?
It
Once
works.
again, these guys had to, you know, if you're talking about going and playing in a different region, a different country, at this point, it's not a, you know, new narrative anymore. It's been happening now for a while, and that comes with its own, you know, challenges and exciting things, being in a new region, being amongst new culture and everything else. But I would say that their impact for this team, for the region even, if you will, is very apparent, right? Even in the play style that they like to bring here. And it brings their own flavor as well. When you're always comparing the regions for MLBB esports, they're very distinctive in their play styles. And that's what I like. You know, what we saw from Game 2, that distinctive flavor of See You Soon and how they were very dominant back even in their group stage matches. It showed here in that series.
Well, speaking of the home advantage, and because we are here at the Philippines in Manila, actually I cannot neglect the fact that the Fuse family is actually supporting him here in the stadium, and he was already doing great throughout the first and the second match, and I cannot imagine how will he be doing right now since he will be buffed with this energy. So speaking of the game, what did change between game number 1 and game number 2? For me personally, I think that Coach Cat got being able to see through the missing points in his draft, which were a front laner who can face check and make extra crowd control, was actually what led this game to be a tie.
Well, we're going to find out here once again before we drop into the draft for game number 3. We'll see how adjustments are made. AP Bren going to be on the blue. See You Soon on the red. Bands coming out. I like that AP Bren has decided, you know what, let's just take out the Kaja.
We gotta.
We don't want
Boxy
to deal with it.
Is lethal on any one of the mechanical heroes, right? And we've only seen the Kaja so far, so it does seem like See You Soon, though they're definitely not hiding any strategies, hiding any picks for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Boxy, they're trying to keep it as low as possible. If we can just keep on going for the Kaja, we'll give Boxy the Kaja. Now, it may be time for that signature Cho. The Cho that got them so many wins in MPLI and especially MPL Cambodia.
Yeah, we'll see if they go that route. What are you feeling, Yasu, here for maybe these first priority picks for both teams?
Well, you still have, okay, so AB Brain again, they are building up for the Nolan, banning the Phoebus, and also banning now the Kaja. They learned from that lesson, the hard lesson that Boxy the King have given them so far. And also, throughout the previous games, I just might think that Pra actually took Faramis 2 times. So it's kind of justified why it's banned right now. So I would say that having, this is a really good one. You can actually ban the Nolan and take the Joy, or leave them both open and take one.
Yep, trade, exchange, right?
Yep.
What do you think they should do?
I don't know, man. I think if this is not a Nolan ban, AP Bren's going to take it. And then maybe for See You Soon, you take the Joy this time. It's the Arlot. So, you know, with Arlot being taken out, this looks like it's going to be a Nolan in the hands of AP Bren, and really leaves to question, see you soon, what do they want to take, right? Joy being open, Valentina, you have a Terizla, do you want to lock in the Bruno early on? Like, there's so many options here for see you soon, but AP Bren, we really got to see, do they actually still want to play that Nolan first pick?
What about if we took the Valentina now and left them both open? But yeah, it's too risky because Joy can actually be played on the XP lane, but it's a risk, and I think at this point everyone needs to take some risk. So having an Angela right now and also the Joy, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Just leave them both open, take one of them out, and Nolan is the pick for Team AB Bren, and Kyle has shown a 100%. I would say so far, if I'm not mistaken, on the Nolan, and for Honor he comes again with the Bruno and also now with the Tigreal. Team AB Bren are so confident in the picks they are taking, but an Angela and a Joy, would we expect to see an Esmeralda though?
Oh, not too sure if we're going to see the Esmeralda here for AP Bren this early, right? Maybe in the second phase, if it doesn't get banned out, they can try to go for it, but even then, it's a bit too risky now, knowing the XP lane matchups could literally be one of the key factors for a team to win. Just like earlier, pick up the Terizla, the Riz,
Yep.
it wins it. Now, man, see you soon. This is a comfort.
This is, yeah.
If you've seen them win in MPL Live, you've seen them win in MPL Cambodia, it's with this comp. Angela, and specifically, this Angela will never go to the hands of Boxy. They know better than to place Boxy on a hero like Angela. You need some bombastic heroes on Boxy, and you need some playmaking frontliners for Felix. So far, 3 conditions have been met.
These are 3 solid heroes for see you soon.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they went this way too, and the bands kind of unfolded this way. We built this up, even when we looked at that player head-to-head, right? The Angela for Ra is deadly, and something that you really have to consider too, right? Now, on the flip side, AP Bren, the fact that they are going with this Tigreal again, it is I feel like one of the safer options, right? To put in the hands right now of Ogwin. You can play around the fact that you have a penalty zone even across from you now, right?
Yeah.
For example, if you're going to go ahead, jump in with the penalty zone, but then you have an implosion to answer, at least kind of stalling out some of that follow-up. If it's, layered correctly, then it could work out for you. But not only that, but the fact that you give space now to Nolan, once again, like we saw in game 1, to go ahead and do what he needs to do. Farm up really quickly, focus on, whittling down the important members here of See You Soon, or even the objectives.
Well, having See You Soon as one of the factors here in this match, it gives me the courage to say that we might see an Angela mid, and you can disagree with me. A lot of people actually around the world will disagree with me. We might see a Diggy, because a Diggy can make Team AB Bren, I wouldn't say like the Tigreal specifically will be in a really bad position, but the only thing that actually make this point not solid is having the Nolan that can actually burst down the Diggy. But yet, Ra playing really good on Angela in the mid lane gives me the confidence to say that we might see one. And because Ra plays Angela in the mid lane, we see Minotaur join the ban list for Team AB Bren.
Man, Minnow's just not getting any playtime this series. He's done too many crazy things so far in the M5. So right now that's going to be taken out. Leaves to kind of question, what does See You Soon want to take, for their roam option?
I think leave it as a last pick. Go and pick up a gold laner first, knowing you're already in this matchup against the Bruno and, against the Tigreal. I would say actually, maybe they can go for, I would actually think about the Irithel or maybe even the Claude here. The Claude, safer choice. The Irithel is something that Kusei has found so much success with as well. Can go for the Purify, but they go for Carry. Well, technically can go for Purify too, but that's risky, man.
It's risky, but I'm thinking it's... My only concern with it, right, this, again, you have to consider the fact they do have an Angela, which kind of helps with this, but range-wise, being able to kind of maneuver around these early skirmishes is going to be important. Being able to be protected enough in the early game pressure is going to be important for a carry. But ultimately, if you can get to that mid to late game, then you can start to punish, especially, these tankier options.
Wait, wow. Wait, what?
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
Wait.
That's a signature friend pick.
Wow.
It's friend. It's the friend special.
It is.
You know what? Actually, I met I met Few today, and he told me, just wait for the knockouts, but I didn't think that he will go this far.
Bro, that's the signature Vrendini.
The Vrendini. Not only that, man, but also the Benedetta coming out, too.
Also Benedetta.
I cannot process this.
But
I cannot
Odette,
process
bro,
this.
Odette, debut pick in M5. It has to be the one who made it work back when he was in TNC. I believe it was with Johnson, that combo?
Yeah, the Johnson-Odette. The Johnson-Odette combination.
Man, who let him cook?
Oh, let him cook.
Speaking of cooking, seems like Coach Cat Dog is actually cooking a lot of damage there. Having the Guinevere set up with the Charizla. Not just that, the dance floor is open for the Joy. The shields are offered by the hard guard, giving the Angela, and not just that. The true damage given by carry actually will be a trouble for Team AB Bren.
There's a lot of trouble, and I think I have to look at you, Naisu, right now. You look concerned, my guy. For AP Bren, what are you thinking?
Oh, I don't know. Part of me is like really questioning this Odette pick if it's going to be able to work. I would have loved to see the old Optimum Pride for this lineup, man. It would have been perfect, especially here in Manila. But we'll have to see how it all plays out with these lineups once again, loading up into the land of Dawn here. It's 1-1 in the series. See you soon. Took the last game. Who will take game number 3? Last time it was an interesting lineup from See You Soon, and now this time, AP Bren digging into the hero pool. Let's see how they execute it out.
Well, you hit us with the Helicarot, we hit you with the Odette. And I told you guys, I've spoken with Few, and he told me wait until you see the knockouts. For me, especially, like for me, I told him maybe we'll see an Eve because Eve had been like neglected, but he said like just wait for the knockouts. Having here the Odette, well, what is actually the point? I think that yeah, Odette with Tiger's kind of thing I've seen in ranked games, but I've never seen in tournaments, to be honest.
Same.
But why? Why?
Well, we'll get to the answer to that question very, very soon. But now Calteezy doesn't want to wait, jumps in onto Boxy, picks up first blood, and MP gets shoved back. Calteezy dashes out. Now it's going to be Flapteezy who rotated all the way from the XP lane with the Petrify. And so far, the answer is Yasu, we go in. That's the answer. That's why.
Yep.
We go in.
We go in. We want damage. Hey, here's a hero that has it. Odette, man. Real quick, too. Oh,
Boxy.
Yeah, he's fine.
Bring it on.
How's the emblems, Yasu?
Well, I think that I'm actually curious about the Odette itself, but let's look at Ogwin.
Two-man knockup and into Boxy, who's now going to be, whoa, 2 kills across. It's one by Ogwin, the roamer, and the other by Mr. Kyle. Oh my goodness, what
Remember the KDA.
heck? Remember, he's not a tank. He's Ogwin, Master Ogwin, the fighter.
You gotta go remind him. Hey, you're a roamer, remember. 8.8 KDA is what Ogwin has. So as he locks in that kill, this is already a 4-0 lead, 2K ahead for AP Bren. Once again with a very interesting lineup for this game, and that's going to be the first objective going in the hands of AP Bren as well.
Well, Few being one of the top 10 greatest players of all time for the M Series, having this surprise here is actually shocking for me. I cannot analyze it, but I've seen the approach he's going with the emblems. He can deal a lot of damage when it comes to his ultimate, but yet here comes something. You just build up a Radiant armor, and then you don't have a damage output coming from the Odette. But yet, he's building the Genius Wand at the beginning, so he will deal a lot of damage.
Implosion into the Fracture. Not even the Hard Guard can save you from that damage, bro.
Dude, it's just crazy kind of unseeing it unfold.
Ooh! Flap knocked up again, and now Boxy takes him out. That's See You Soon, finally on the board.
Once again, as I was going to say, you know, the fact that you have a Heart Guard for See You Soon, I guess the answer for AP Bren was just all the damage. I like to say the big damn, right? That's what they went with here. Ogwin with the implosion into an Electro Final Blow alongside having an Odette hold. Wow. And
that was fast.
I forgot to mention Kyle Teasy as well.
Hit and run, and now Swan Song! Kusei doesn't like songs, especially not that one. Woo.
Oh my god, that at some point that's actually funny because I've told you, you can build up the Radiant armor to prevent fuse damage, but will you be able to build it though? I think that time was flying by.
Yeah, with the 4,000 gold lead in the third minute, that Radiant Armor is still a far idea.
That's hard.
Not only that, but even just looking at the gold lane, as we were talking about that carry pick here, Yasu, look at the disparity so far in the gold.
Yeah. We can actually see that the Husk lost. Oh, that's a really bad place.
That's a Requiem, but there's no follow-up. Even though the turret was there, Ra is an Angela. You can't expect him to deal damage to Ogwen and burst him down.
So we were speaking about the Haskell, but every time I speak about the Haskell, he always jumps in. Bruno at this point can actually take upon a 1v2, but how do you feel about the matchup so far, Naisu?
Oh man, you know, when I look at it unfolding here, the fact that you have this kind of lead for AP Bren with the lineup they have, it's just so much CC and damage potential. I mean, the fact that you first picked the Nolan too, right? It's tough to deal with here. But for Siasoon, really trying to wonder, where do you find these wins, right? Where do you find some of these skirmishes? Because at this point, with a 5K deficit in the economy, man, against this kind of lineup, it kind of gets scary because, like you mentioned, maybe get some of those defensive items, you know, talking about Radiant Armors, everything else. But really, you need so much time. Look at the gold earned here. It's so, they're so far behind already, right? In every single lane.
Implosion. Sorry, I'm Felix gets brought back. The penalty zone canceled for a bit. The dive even, but the hard guard now is scaled to a point where it can get you some more survivability.
With each minute, you have one more K for gold lead for AB Bren, and not just that. Let me dream, guys. Let's see together.
You can't dream.
So Requiem, that's some damage. Ogwen should fall here, and he does. Boxy's the one who picks up the kill, though. Both the roamers. Assassins, not roamers.
Okay, do you want to dream now, Yasu?
I want to dream. I told you I want to see a Kimmy. And by seeing that Odette, I cannot help but keep dreaming, to be honest.
All right, let's hope for a Kimmy next then.
At this point, I think this is now total unique hero so far. 69.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So Kyle TZ here picking up the Blade of Heptases early on. Look, he's already 2 items in. Did it's stolen?
He just drove by.
What?
Oh, he even dodges his mate migration and finds the fracture on Ra under the turret. How much swag do you have?
4 levels ahead as a jungler.
And now Felix, he's about to get balled down by Super Marco on the Worldie. With the help of the hammer from Ogwen. That's one more shot. Ogwen, you're a roamer. Ogwen, stop!
Again with the KDA here for Ogwen, and not to mention what we just saw from Kyle TZ on this Nolan pick. He now also secures the turtle. That's 3 for 3 for AP Bren as they further the lead here in this Game 3 against See You Soon. It's looking a lot like Game 1 for See You Soon. What can they do, Yasu, to get back into this game?
Yeah.
But real quick, not Odette's swan song. The last and the only appearance of Odette in an M series was in M1. Well, until now.
M1?
So
that's like how many years ago? 3 years ago or something?
4, right?
What?
4.
Yeah,
right?
4.
Should be 4. 2019, right?
2019.
2019. 4 years ago. So technically, I think the last time we saw Kimmy was also, I'm not too sure if it's M1 or M2, but
don't let me dream.
It's a while ago, so we will try to let you dream, because so far, whoever has been dreaming about Odette showing up in M5, he's got it, man.
Hey, all Odette mains are happy now, right? It's shown up. It's now viable in your games. It shows up once, it's there. So with that, again, lead massive here for AP Bren. They're going to put the pressure on this purple buff for See You Soon.
Conceal. If Ogwen gets an implosion onto 4 or even just 3 members,
1 is
it's
enough.
It's going to be lethal. 1 is enough, he says, as he brings Felix back with the hard guard now. DPC, a bit of a miscommunication, a bit of a disconnect, and that is going to be a big mistake that AP Brent capitalizes on. You can't do that against Brent.
It seems like there's no electrifying beats when you have this swan song coming from AB Bren.
Oh, two genres of songs here, right?
Yeah.
You got the electrifying beats and then you got the swan song.
Which one do you like better?
Which one do you like better? Flap Teasy though.
Oh.
No, the electrifying beats is getting
Ogwen.
Oh wait, he's able to dash out. Still with a hard guard, still able to escape for now. There's no real push as well, no real punishment from AP Brent.
Okay, they get those resources out though, leading into this first Lord, so that is an advantage once again, despite the 10K gold lead. AP Brent what more are they going to be looking for, right? This is going to be quick work. Look at that. The Lord just taken out in an instant. And so AP Bren, they'll get ready for this march towards Siasoon's base. You're wondering, Siasoon, are they prepped up for this defense here,
Look
Yasu?
at the gold difference. It's even more than the clock.
They've beaten the clock.
They have beaten the clock.
Yeah.
So
it's a massive lead.
I haven't seen that in my life, to be honest, so far.
Wait, really?
Nah, just like 8 minutes, 8 and 10K gold lead. I haven't seen that.
Wow.
Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Plenty of times?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you guys are the experts. I'm just new here. So I would actually say that when I've seen few, I think that this is also the point where Siasoon we're focusing on just how can we deal with the audit? Will we get a Radiant Armor? What else? But they forgot somehow that they have Kyle Teasy to work with.
Only one member though. Guse gets out. But a penalty zone once again is already going to be used only onto Ogwen. Boxing in the midst of it. Oh, Swan Zone from View! Zones them all away. The fracture as well. Felix takes it up. What a Chad. How did he survive that?
Body of Smith. The passive. That's how he was able to survive that. But not only that, Siasoon, the fighting spirit still for them, able to witness that setup and get out with their lives. Could be the starting steps towards turning things around. Yes, it's massive. It's 11,000 gold. But if they can still somehow extend the game, maybe 8 minutes, we might be able to see them actually go toe-to-toe with some of these initiations, because already looking at these items, the disparities there, Yasu.
I would say that looking at Kyle Teasy, I cannot help but to wonder, did he break a record when it comes to gold per minute?
Boxy again, now with the Requiem and a penalty zone to help him. Now with a Swan Song from Phil! Turns it around again! See you soon! Forced to run back to the base. My goodness, AP Brent!
It just took one song. It just took one song and everything went down for Team Siasoon. Is this the finish? This fast in minutes?
Oh no.
10 minutes in, Roz walking back. MP will accept his fate. AP Bren, they play the Swan Song, and tonight that is the song of victory for AP Bren.
2-1, AP Bren now standing at match point. And with the debut of Odette, what a decisive game once again for the hometown team.
That was so much to absorb by Team Siasoon. A lot of surprises, not just the Swan Song, not just the Odette, also the combination that Team AB Bren had at some point. And not just that, he can add upon it Kyle Teasy playing the Nolan that he have 100% win rate with so far.
Again, very strong showing there. This is one of the things you have to consider for everyone behind and involved in AP Bren, man. The flexibility of the drafting is what has made them rise throughout this year as a very dominant team, dominant force. Amazing things from Coach Ducky, Coach Bren as well. You talked about it, that Odette pick, man. Solid performance there.
Odette.
Shocked.
Yes, he is shocked. He cannot speak. He's speaking, but no words are coming out. Look at him. Look at him. That's the same. That's actually the same case for Siasoon. They were, yeah. Totally understood. Yes.
Yeah, his mic's not muted, don't worry. But let's take a look at the MVP here. It's going to be none other. Actually, giving it away, it has to. Is it the Odette? Who's it going to be?
Oh, it's Kyle.
They're going for it. Is it going to be Kyle again, or is it, once again, it's Kyle Teasy here, 5-0-3 for that Nolan.
Wow.
Again, a very dominant game here.
The Assassin Master. He just goes in using that Nolan again and again. Gold per minute, 911. He was beating that clock almost. He went for 1K per 1 minute, which is an insane number. And also focusing on his emblem, he went all out with the damage, not just the equipment, also the emblem itself. 911. Yes, call 911 for Kyle Teasy because he's on fire.
Well, as we're going to take a look at the highlights here, kind of unfolding for this game, once again, it was AP Bren coming out swinging through the course of this early on, especially with how they started things up. First blood going to the hands of Kyle Teasy really started them on the right foot. But Siasoon, like I said, there was moments here where they had some fight back, but you know, given how far behind they eventually went, and even Ogwin getting his own kill here, flickering forward. That's why he has the KDA of 8.8 as a roamer.
Chad Ogwin.
Chad Ogwin.
Maybe at some point he will be a KDA machine himself, even though he is the roamer. But there was this one moment at the beginning of the highlights where Kyle Tease was actually 2 levels ahead from Boxy the King. In the first, he was like level 3 against level 1. But look here, these were the moments where Team CSUN made up a really good setup, but yet here the gold speaks, and here the gold difference speaks for Team AB Bren. They couldn't just deal the amount of damage needed for this perfect setup there. The Swan Song ending it all for Team AB Bren.
Man, but I was just about to say, right, Kusei, the risky carry pick, it was risky when he picked it. Right after the Odette came through, it was useless. It went from risky to useless real quick. What are you even supposed to do when you're up? Because he went for Purify, right?
Yeah.
You can't even flicker out. You just got to accept the Swan Song play. You hate the music, but dance.
You just got to dance, right? And it's tough because even before that pick was locked in, as we take a look at the breakdown here,
wow,
we said, hey, Carrie, her range is one of the weak points of this hero, right?
Yeah.
So the fact is...
And Brent said yes.
And Brent said yes. Let's just take the Odette, make it work, and make it to the point where you even just close in that possibility for Kosei here.
Well, Super Marco didn't need to even sign into this game because Cal Teasy and Few were taking care of the damage. And looking here at the statistics, we will notice that it's kind of similar to the first game where Team CSUN didn't touch a single turret, didn't contest a turtle or even a Lord. And at some point, I don't think that Team AB Bren needed the Lord, just that gold lead, 13k gold lead in a matter of 11 minutes. And AB Bren, as I told you, at some point, Super Marco was farming, doing great, pushing turrets, but yet his damage wasn't needed to sum all this up. But Cal Teasy with 911, 911 gold per minute, and Super Marco, as I told you, they carried 33k. There wasn't a lot of fights for Team AB Bren. It was just response from Team AB Bren.
Man, again, you think about the Swan Song along with the World D, the Implosion, everything else, it's so much AoE potential and just damage to deal with if you're CSUN. And that's why, again, when you look at it, they really weren't able to get any turrets down or really work against this lineup with what they had. Now, you know, the fact that we talked about this, even some of these comfort hero picks for CSUN, it begs the question, like, how did this happen, right? You're not expecting the Odette pick, let's be honest, right? This is a pick, it's a debut for a reason, but it worked so well against the game plan for CSUN here.
Odette. Well, Odette at this game could have actually been stopped by either the Terizla or the Guinevere, yet none of them have found an opening just to take the Odette down. I cannot remember, did she have a Flicker or a Purify? I think it was Flicker, right?
Flicker.
So at some point she was like a sitting duck. Not a duck, but like
a sitting swan.
Yeah, sitting swan.
There it is.
So she was like waiting there for someone to pick her up. But again, if you went in for the Odette, it was so hard for you to get away from the Tiger and also Cal Teasy and his assassinations.
AOE Esports.
AOE Esports.
AO Esports.
AOE.
AO Esports.
What's AO?
AO is area of esports.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. AO Esports, AOE.
Man, I can't, you've been influenced so much by Leo.
For sure, man. DPZ.
The acronym man.
The acronym
what was Wolf's? DBA, like departure, something about the blacklist?
At this point.
ADP, Anti-Disaster Protocol.
Anti.
Hey, sometimes, if you listen to the English broadcast enough, you're going to learn all these acronyms yourself, right?
Yeah.
Of course, once again, as we get prepped up for the next game here, it's match point for AP Bren. We're a couple minutes away. We can talk about here, maybe Yasu, you can share some of these insights from what you saw as well. Now, in a way, when you look at the draft, right, this is, going back to it, it's not something you expect from AP Bren right away, right? The fact that we threw actually a lot of kind of heroes out there that could have been the gold lane option, and that makes me wonder too, what if CSUN didn't take the carry? Would the Odette still have come out there? But now that we now have 69 unique heroes for the M series here, you gotta wonder what left is there under the sleeves of all these teams left here for the knockouts.
Kimmy, this is what's left.
He's dreaming. Hey, after this, you can't count anything out.
And she
For sure. Maybe Layla.
and Odette was picked at the M1, and you guys said that the last time you saw Kimmy shine was the M1.
Actually, thanks to chat, I know it's not M1.
It's not.
It's
Okay.
M3, it was Wise. Kimmy,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
in the jungle.
Well, that still seems like it was a while away.
It was. M3 was 2 years ago. So yes, it was a while away. So how would the Kimmy, what scenario would be good for Kimmy?
Well, I am a mini
Kimmy main?
Kimmy main?
at some point in my life. She's actually quite vulnerable because the assassins took their time to just be there in the meta, so it's so hard for Kimmy to be in the game. I would say that she can work. No, I'm not gonna lie to myself. She cannot work.
I thought you were dreaming, Yasu.
I like that. I like that.
You started out as I'm gonna dream.
It's a
How do you
dream
shut down
until
your
you
dream?
think about it. Every single time, right? It's a dream until you think about
You
it.
have to believe in your dreams.
I can.
Sometimes.
Oh man, I can now.
Filter it, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes dreams are achievable, but sometimes you take the real route. That's what he decided to do. That's what Yasu said. You know what? Never mind. My dream is a bit too far-fetched.
Life's just slapping
Some
in the face.
dreams-
Yeah, no Kimmy for me in M5.
Maybe some dreams are meant to be just dreams, you know.
Dreaming is free.
It is. It's free to
It's
dream.
free.
You know,
Yeah,
so on this desk.
But
it's
the
free to
Lulu
dream.
is expensive.
That's true.
That's exactly.
That's right.
So.
So are you just taking it out of the picture now, Yasu? No
taking
more
Kimmy
Kimmy.
out?
Yeah.
I don't want to take her out.
Okay, then
She's
let me-
dear to me.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this,
Yes.
as Gord is to me, right?
Uh-huh.
Now the thing I was.
But you had your gourd.
I did, but it took seasons.
Seasons.
All right.
It took years for him to get to where he was, right? Which is actually still a valid pick. We've actually seen Gord so far. But really, I'm curious. And what does See You Soon want to do to get to a Game 5 here? So far, they are the only team that has given a loss to Bren, right?
Yeah.
They're working around that, and they figured something out. Is this where, once again, they have to pull something out like the Hellcurt again? Not so much the Hellcurt, but maybe another pick that they are holding on to here?
Well, look, for Team See You Soon, they should go for the same approach they did at the second game where they won. And that's when having a really good executable draft, having the crowd control, the pick of heroes that they are familiar with, and also surprising the opponent team. Well, having the Hellcurt was more surprising than a lot of the picks we have seen so far, but not as, for sure, it's not as surprising as the Odette. But again, you asked me a question why the carry would have been like a better pick instead of the carry. I don't actually think that any marksman could have shined this game because
Any marksman, okay.
because at a certain point in the game, it wasn't about the marksman or even the gold lane. So it was about the domination that happened inside the jungle of Team See You Soon. They weren't able to defend themselves, especially against the Nolan coming from Calteezy, and losing 2 times against a Nolan from Calteezy. I think that this is the time to ban the Nolan.
Yeah.
Maybe that, or MP the King picks it up himself.
Yeah, then they have to go blue side and they have to force it out, right? But I agree. I think the Nolan, at this point, they've left it open twice. They've tried to counter it twice and they have failed twice.
Then ban it, right? You said that about the Novaria. If you can't deal with it,
that's
then
my
ban
answer.
it.
You know, when people are like, "Well, how do we deal with this?" That's me trying to be an analyst, man. Just ban it out.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me thrice, all right, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm out, yeah.
Sorry, I'm nice to you, right? Let's load into the draft here once again. Game number 4 upon us. Match point here for AP Bren. We'll see how See You Soon adjusts to what happened the previous game, how they want to approach it. Bans already coming out. It is going to be See You Soon on that blue, AP Bren on the red here. So, is this the time they pick up the Nolan, or will it be banned out?
The Nolan is actually one of those crucial picks in this tournament. I think he should be banned. I don't recall seeing See You Soon play with the Nolan. Actually they played the Nolan against Team BTR and they have won. So maybe MP the King can actually pull off the Nolan here if they ban the Privy, since they started to clear the road as Team AB Bren were doing throughout the drafts before. If they want a Nolan, they have to make him have the best way, or a smooth way to be executed.
Clear the road for him, right?
Yes, clear the road.
Clear the road. If that works out for them, In a way, too, I would say that if they win the Nolan, it gives them a good step. But as we've seen from teams before, you still have to be able to actually protect the Nolan, allow him the space to work, right? That is something. Now, if you get a first blood, like we saw in the previous game, that already gets you off to a great start. But we can see so far it's not banned out.
Well, you can now play the same game that AB Brim played the previous game, and that leave the Joy and Nolan open if Team See You Soon actually gives you the opportunity. And not just that, Vivius is still out there for the take. So you have the mobility heroes, the really good mobility heroes in the jungle, and oh yeah, now the banned Nolan, so by nature, I think that we will see a Joy being back.
I thought you were saying bye, like goodbye.
Yeah,
Goodbye, yeah.
I felt bad when he got banned. Things could have been more interesting if he was there.
Well, I think, again,
for me at least,
the plan here from AP Brent was like, all right, go ahead and pick the Nolan. But we'll have the Phobius.
Exactly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They kind of already forced the Nolan to be banned by themselves here because it's clear that they do not want to pick it up. They banned the Angela, not the Phobius. And now for AB Brent, there's only one ban left that we've seen throughout the series. It's always been banned. If the Nolan gets banned, it's the Joy.
The Joy, yeah.
Right? Will AB Brent let MP the King play the Joy now without the presence of Nolan in their draft? They might do it. They might be like, no, never mind. They'll take, no.
There it is.
No.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Told
Nature.
you.
Bye.
Told you. No more mobility heroes. No more mobility heroes. Even though AB Brain could have given See You Soon the Joy and then take the Phobius for themselves, but now we will go for a classic draft, I would say.
Yep.
Guinevere, you'll now think of, oh, will we take the Farmis, maybe the Bruno, or the Valentina? So, or maybe we'll see another. I don't know at this point.
I think at this point,
Maybe.
yeah. For me, I'm thinking maybe the Bruno, maybe the Faramis or the Valentina, like you mentioned, Yasu. I think those are solid choices already here. And then usually that swing, that crazy curveball, is in the second phase, right? And that's what I love, again, where we are with a lot of the flexibility options. There's the Faramis. That's going to be locked in here. And we'll see if they actually opt for the Bruno. Oh, Arlot. So pick that up, and now they're trying to cover their bases already. Is this the Valentina, though, from See You Soon to kind of counter play into this Faramis?
Deep inside, this inner child in me says, please, Kimmy. Please, Kimmy. Please.
I thought we were giving up on our dreams, Yasu.
No, like that.
We're going back to it.
We're going back to the dreams.
Because whenever I see Fu's name right now, I think that he can grant me that wish. After picking the Odette, why not even like go with the Johnson, like make it all fun?
I think now it's a bit impossible. They have a Faramis already. Realistically, I think for See You Soon, I think it has to be the Bruno, right? Kuzi has found so much success whenever he has gotten his hands on the Bruno, and MPLI as well, and MPL Cambodia. And they go for it.
Why not the Valentina now?
Because he's not sorry.
Why not the Valentina now? For team See You Soon.
Are your gears grinding, Yasu? This is what we like to say to our dear friend Midnight. His gears sometimes grind.
So you get frustrated and you're like, oh no!
Just how you reacted.
Get mad.
Just how you reacted right now to the Dairoth pick.
Yeah,
your
you were
gears are grinding.
slamming a table.
I wanted to see that Valentina. You have a Final Slash. You have another Realm. You have other picks to be used for you. Why not use the Valentina now?
Okay,
why even the Dairoth again?
Yasu, make sense of this for us. Why the Dairoth? I know you don't agree with it so much, but why the Dairoth and not the Valentina?
Maybe, just maybe, because I don't know what's going inside the cat dog's mind right now, but maybe he's preventing Team AB Brent from taking tanky heroes so that they go for, I would say, a swift approach, just a fast approach, and they don't go for these stationary heroes like the Minotaur maybe at some point. But we don't know actually, because Arlott is kind of a flex pick, so you can use him either in Rome or even XP. Again, I don't see the use of the Dairoth.
Let's see, maybe...
It's so early, right?
It is pretty early. It's the same, basically, pick order as game number 1, when they actually did pick up the Dairoth. But this time, they have the Bruno, so it makes more sense. They have proper damage, instant damage, instead of the quad from game number 1. But the Brody, let's talk about the Brody. Even though we've seen Brody as quite a hot pick in M5, he's been horrible win rate-wise. Abysmal win rate. Oh, say goodbye to the Helker.
All right, that's interesting that they decided to ban that out, but hey, they're covering their bases.
Oh.
We're gonna go with that. There's a good response too, because
one,
we know, you know, Kyle TZ loves that Fanny if he gets his hands on it. So right now, the Brody, it is kind of a head scratcher, right? For the most part, it's picked up so much, but the win rate just isn't there, right? And going against the Bruno, in this way, it's like, all right, well, at least you want to play with some distance. You have a Guinevere across from you. Dyroth is going to try his best to flicker and get the, you know, the penetration and the Bism strike and everything else off. So Brody is just one of those heroes, I feel like it's either that or the Clint, really. Like, you're trying to work with some space, some distance, obviously, to just get those marks off, get the torn apart memories from a distance and safety, while having that Netherrealm and even the peel potential from a final slash. So it could just end up being one of the safer options for AP Bren right now.
Well, for Team CSUN, I would say that they are doing the same mistake as the first draft in this series, which not having the suitable crowd control or someone to get in and tank the damage. I wouldn't suggest having your jungler as your front laner, as the one to sacrifice, as the one to initiate a team fight. So I wouldn't suggest that Guinevere, although she can be used as a roam, but so far for me, she is a jungler. So the Valentina not being banned by Team AB Bren, I think they are going for those heroes who will not have the mobility that they should, I would say, have, because the Jiroth already prevents you from being stationary, prevents you from having these tanky heroes. So, I don't know. Lilia? I would say a Valentina better. Yeah, I would say Valentina was a better ban here.
Okay, well, they pick up the Akai now, and that's 3 big ultimates. So overloading the Valentina might be why they actually banned out the Lilia instead of the Valentina. They want CSUN to pick up the Valentina. They say,
yeah,
go ahead. Which ultimate are you going to take? The Final Slash, the Netherrealm, or the Heavy Spin, right? It's all up to you, confusing the Valentina user. Now, it's the question of whether the Guinevere is going to be flexed into the roam position or will it be used as a jungler. Because at this point, what does Boxy use? There's so much disengage. There's proper dive as well. Safest choice, Minotaur. Has to be, right?
Oh, there it is. Good call. Novaria, Minotaur. Provide yourself with the vision, the setup potential as well. You got a lot of CC in favor for CSUN, and then you match in with the Bruno, right? Eventually, it's very quickly scaling. Usually needs those 2 items to get going, and then from there, if everything is layered correctly as they need to, you whittle them down with the Novaria, you have the vision to provide that opportunity utilizing the Minoan Fury. You break down some of the armor, right, with the Dyroth, if they make it work this time, and then you can kind of follow up from there. Also very safe with the spatial migrations and then everything else. It could all fall into place. My biggest concern is across from them. The lineup so far from AP Bren, Netherrealm alone, helps kind of negate a lot of that early pressure setup. And then you talk about Paquito once again.
Mr.
MVP
Cannon.
performance from earlier. Mr. Cannon picks up that Paquito. The gloves are going to be loaded again.
FDP. Full damage Paquito.
Yep, FDP.
Right
would
hook,
be proud.
left hook, and a knockout.
LWP.
Keep going.
Making up. Well,
What's the next one?
WTNO. What's the next one? I can keep going all day, bro.
Well, let's let Yasu break this down real quick. Yasu, how's it looking?
well, it looks good for both teams actually, but I would lean towards Team AB Bren because they go for the classical approach for me. But Team CSUN making up for the front laning by giving the vision by the Novaria is actually good, but the Maleficor at some point for the Brody with the torn apart memory will be lethal.
Well, lethal or not, we're going to find out here as we load into the Land of Dawn. It's match point for AP Bren. Looking to close out the series here for CSUN. Can they utilize this composition to take it to a game of 5 for this first of best of 5 series ahead of us as both teams get us situated here? A big part of this will also be on this early rotation from CSUN. MP the King relying on the rest of the team here, and also that XP lane matchup between the Tyroth and the Paquito.
Well, there is something I want to speak about before we get into the action of this game. I think that Miracle is already off with the prediction, so I don't know how does your curse actually work. Can you explain it to me?
That's the glory. That's the beauty of it.
There is no explanation.
There's no explanation.
You're just cursed.
Yes.
It's either cursed or blessed. Like,
It's a passive technique. You know, you never know when the cooldown is on or off.
Yeah.
Felix knows when the cooldown is on or off, though. He just jumps in, zones Ogwen away, does a lot of damage, and even in the lane. See, wow, all right, Kusei loves Master Assassin. He's a laner by heart. Look at that. Every single game, Master Assassin so far.
He wants to win his lane, and this is actually a really good thing, but looking here at the emblems, I would say that the Novari is also going for a really good damage approach. And for Team See You Soon, the Jiroth actually makes more sense now after adding some heroes who can be a little bit tanky, but it's gonna be so hard for you to engage and disengage with the Jiroth once again.
okay, so a lot of this early poking back and forth so far, but with the lineups here, you're not really expecting anyone to go down just yet, right? A lot of these need that level 4 ability to set things up, to turn the tide in some of these early skirmishes. So Turtle just about up, but look at the focus already on the bottom side too. Trying to put some pressure there, but Ra gonna be there to back him up.
Oh.
Ogwen getting some good damage in with a vengeance. MP the King has been chunked quite low, but so has Flapteezy. The bottom side, wait! First blood with a Requiem few. This might be a double kill. Shadow Stampede bring them back. One more Ghost Bursters might be able to do it. MP still surviving. Another knockup as MP pops the regen. And Calteezy secures the turtle, bringing Felix back, trying to pin him down. But Felix is able to maneuver just as good. Who's it worth for? Turtle and kill.
I would say the turtle at this point because the kill wouldn't make up for the shield given to your gold lane, and also wouldn't give up for the amount of gold distributed equally to your teammates generally. So I would take a turtle over a kill, even though See You Soon are in the lead, but bring this. Oh, what?
Oh, what
what
the heck just happened there? Rah!
Wow.
That's literally what Ross said while he shot him down.
Rah.
Yeah, that's how he says it. Also, run with the ball. Bruno and Brody faced 20 times in M5 so far, and Bruno has won 16, 80% of the games. That is the matchup. Oh, Flap.
Getting caught up is some strike not used with the flicker. This time it's still on cooldown, but 80% is a big number. Oh, another Astral Spear from downtown from Ra.
If he gets a sniper off every time this whole game, you got to do it.
Just got to do Ra, Ra, Ra.
Well, Ra right now is giving a hard time for Team AB Brent to recall or like to even have some time to breathe. But look here at the spells, because this is the most thing that actually catches my eyes all the time. Super Marco should be punished after using his flicker, but yet Team AB Brent, See You Soon are not utilizing their resources on the gold lane, because not having the flicker on a gold laner is actually lethal, and also Kosei. So this is the time for both of these teams to focus and to take down one of these marksmen down.
With that, putting the pressure here already in the side of the jungle, getting the flicker out though, so they work around that. But AB Brand wants to put pressure resource-wise, leading into that first turtle. So with Ogwen, no flicker, they'll work around that. Also, MP the King picked up the Genius Wand, so really he wants to kind of whittle them down in the magic-resistant department. And then Ra is there to get those shots off. We'll see if that all plays a part and how things kind of unfold. But once again, they're going to battle it out.
Four-man reveal now as that spatial migration doesn't connect. And Flapteezy, oh my goodness gracious! What is that damage? MP the King got knocked out.
That was a knockout.
Holy
from Flap.
What?
Flap is just furious at this point. Sorry, Felix right now is trying to hold that orange buff. It's gonna so hard.
Boxy's coming down right now with the help of the Wisdom Strike. The final slash displaces them for a bit. AP Brand looking for the orange buff. Calteezy retrieves it and gets out of the head. But Ogwen jumping with a vengeance view. Ghost Bursters, healing coming down. Boxy still able to heal for a bit, but Flapteezy, Mr. Cannon, he has the cannons in those hands.
And you can't, it's gonna look like it did back in what, game 2 it was? What, game 3, game 1, whichever it was, but when Flapteezy gets these kills, gets these leads, it gets deadly here. The aggression that comes through is gonna be a problem.
And Few got that one. MP the King actually missed out and now gets knocked out again. It's 3 kills on the cannon.
Someone stop Flapteezy. Someone stop this guy. He's he's too annoying for Team Soon. And I was actually, my eyes were on the top lane because Kosei was so far behind that turret, and Super Marco just got under his skin. He's just focusing on making those zone plays, and Kosei is just falling into them.
Well, as we see things unfold here, Yasu, take us through the items. Anything sticking out with this nearly 2K gold lead for AP Bren?
I would say that Kyle is working with the gold he has, buying those half items, going all the way through, taking all the objectives he needs. So, Flap.
Good flick around.
Shut down.
Requiem comes down with the Abyssum Strike. It's a shutdown finally to Flap TZ. But man, what a lethal Paquito. Every single... Is he going full damage again, bro?
Yeah, most likely a very similar build from what we saw in the previous time that he brought it down this series. But right now, that was a good pickoff for Soon. Able to find something, but now on the bottom side.
MB.
A full dive. 3-man. Final slash onto Super Marco's side. And he gets the kill. Picks it up for free. Now the bottom lane free. And Soon, they're looking for to zone Calteezy up top. Flap rotating up top, and also Lucas here. Heavy spin, trying to pin them down, gets 2! And this might buy him enough time. The Infinite Fury with the flicker, and then the round comes down, but Kyle still falls. Meanwhile, Kusei able to slide tackle out just in a bit. Ogwen uses the final slash, but Kusei flickers out. Now it's Felix again in the midst of 3 members. Able to dash out just barely. The Turtle saving him for a bit. Baptiste, one more hit. Left, right, good night. Boxy the King is next. The Tornapart memory takes him out. It's a Requiem, this time on the Flap, and a snipe down from Ra.
Good response. Once again, the back and forth. But Soon still showing life here. Turtle still not going to be committed on, but AP Bren finding some kills as well. Real quick, how's the items?
The items right now with the Melpicor, as I told you, he's going to be a nightmare for them with this torn apart memory. Super Marco just showed up after taking 2 turrets for Team AP Bren. He finished his duty on top lane. He just said, like, why not go for bot lane? He also got the bot lane, came back for the torn apart memory. Their own Boxy the King getting a KO upon him. And not just that, Flapteezy actually got 2 items in just 8 minutes with the Paquito on the XP lane. Like, regularly we don't see the XP laners shine that much with the damage, but yet he have 2 items of pure damage so far.
Oh no, Felix. He's sorry, don't do it to him. Killing spree down below. They've had enough of Flap TZ, but the other TZ brother wants some revenge. The rest of the team rotating down below. They're still going to go in for it. Spatial migration onto Calteezy with no heavy spin right now. Boxy knocks him up again, but the Panda likes the odds of a 1v3. Now it's Ogwen who's coming down. Slide tackle from Kusei. Few with another round. The final slash to bring them under the tier 2. Now it's just Kusei versus the world, and Ogwen takes him down.
Another good response there from AP Bren. Able to read the map, read the play. They make their own punishing maneuver, and now all this, once again, eyes set on the mid lane. Gonna put the pressure where they can, so see you soon. They've got some fight still in them. They have to be able to choose some of these battles a little bit better as they approach into these objectives. This is what AP Bren wants to do. Cause some chaos, cause some havoc here. Because now they put the pressure into the jungle.
Well, Super Marco here adding up some physical damage. I know, like, speed attack to his emblem. Having this Demon Hunter sword and also melting down these tanky heroes is actually something that I wouldn't have imagined to be happening in 9 minutes of time. AP Bren, look at the damage dealt here. I wouldn't actually think that it was few, but apparently he is up there in the charts. I would have said that Ogwen, even though he is the roamer, he's doing quite a lot of damage.
Final slash, Minus Fury onto 3, but it gets deleted before he can even get that down. The Astral Fear is able to dish out some damage short of our memory. Taking Felix low. Calteezy going back to his own purple buff. A good snipe again from Ra, but none of AP Bren's members gets taken out.
Nope. They got the eyes here on Calteezy. He's going to go ahead and start up this Lord here. First one in the game. Will wait up. Boxy, just a couple seconds. Will be spawning, so full force. 5 versus 5 if they want to go ahead and dance for this Lord. It will go for a reset. Still got Flap also putting the pressure on the bottom side. This is what we expect when he has this kind of lead. Put pressure on these side lanes. See you soon. Might have to manage it, might have to respond to it. But right now it looks like They're just looking for a setup of their own against AP Bren here.
Yeah.
As they get in position. Once again, AP Bren having this small lead can work around this, but the shots from Ra, who has not died yet, they gotta respect that damage.
Oh.
Minion's Fury. Ogwen flickers out the safety. ChezyGaming gonna be knocked up by both the Lord and the Minion. And now it's Baptiste who goes in all alone, gets punished for it. Kusei. It's the same for him, but he's still gonna be able to lifesteal back with the purple buff in his own jungle. AP Bren down one member.
Well, Team CSUN, I have to give it to them. They are really good in team fights, but macro-wise, Team AB Bren are just dealing a lot of losses to the side of Team CSUN when it comes to the turrets, because on the side lane, they are just losing right now.
Boxy brought back to the team right now with insane execution by Super Marco.
Oh.
MP with the spatial migration onto the bush right now, as that's going to be a full-on fight from AP Bren going in, but Ogwen, he steps out of the nether round toward our memory from Super Marco!
Whoa.
The fadeaway. Super Marco gets the kill with some finesse. And now with that, 2 down for CSUN. It's only Ogwen gone for AP Bren. This is a position for AP Bren to secure this Lord here as they make their way to secure it and then get these turrets, work with the space. See you soon. Not much they can do here.
The wave management for Team CSUN have to get a little bit better if they want to pull up a solid defense. They do have the heroes to defend at least this Lord, because this Lord is coming in a really critical time, but yet it's defendable. It is defendable with the crowd control giving like Boxy the King, also MP the King. Oh, we have a really hero counter matchup count here, right, Naisu?
Love this theoretical win rate, right? Brody, just a little bit less than the Bruno.
Oh, Flap.
1v1. Flap with the shield. Now boxing, weaving, Super Marco, torn apart memory. He brought 3 extra members to a 1v1. Now it's MP who's
Buying
looking
time
for a miracle run. Spatial migration, jumping on the field, dealing some damage. But now with the Nether Realm, it is all but done for MP in that bottom lane.
Okay, well, they're going to make quick work of this Lord here once again. First one of the game. Be able to handle that just fine. So they bought some time, but AP Bren still going to focus on these resources and the turrets where they can get them. Ogwen also might look for his own initiation, holding on to that final slash alongside the flicker here. Still eyes now set on that bottom. The pressure was put on these turrets, but ultimately can't break into the base of CSUN just yet.
Super Marco with 7-1-0 KDA. He's just, right now, he's just a force of nature. No one can stop him. Ogwen here with the final slash. He couldn't find his target, but Team CSUN, if they actually pulled it off for a little bit longer, they can make up a really good team fight. But let's have a look here at the itemization. The Gold Rose Meteor from the Paquito, he actually acknowledges the damage output coming from Ra, not just Ra, also from MP the King, but yet he's going for a full damage setup. And for Brody, he is set, he is here, and he is ready to deal the maximum damage any Brody can deal.
Yeah, and
Full
with
build.
that, look at this gold lead in terms of the gold laners alone, right? It's massive. But if CSUN is somehow, some way able to take care of Super Marco, and if that's just whittling him down from shots from afar, that could be a great setup here.
Count just face check that. Now it's Feel. Oh, beautiful final slash. Onto Boxy. No, now it's going to be Boxy the King who finds him in his fury. Another round right there. And Boxy the King gets knocked out, gets punched out of the game. It's turned around completely by AP Bren. Ra shoots him down, but sorry, I'm Felix. Gets caught in the vengeance.
Ogwen, you're a roamer. Goes in again. Very decisive from AP Bren to decide that, now furthering the lead here. 15 seconds to the Lord, and it's looking dire for CSUN.
Oh, miscommunication. Miscommunication by Team CSUN, just having Boxy the King using all what he have in his sleeves, have been just used for nothing. Just a loss. 3 of his members are down. And Team AB right now, they get to get the Enhanced Lord, also to have more pressure when it comes to the minions. And at this point, actually, I wonder, how can Team CSUN pull off a next good defense?
They got, well,
wow.
Ouch.
Speaking of defense, let's
Damage.
talk about just the Lord
The damage.
first. They're not even able to walk up. Super Marco with another double. 1-1-1-1. 11-1-1. That's why he's the #1 goal laner right now.
I can hear him right now, man. Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
11-1-1. Whoa. Right now, still.
Oh,
pressure.
flap.
What? Left, right, good night. The footballer losing to the boxer, not surprising technically if you know.
Yeah.
But
Think about it.
think about it.
Well, right now, they got to deal with this Lord. Bottom side, going to be focusing down there. See you soon. Boxy's going to be up. MP the King's now up.
Oh no.
Das. That's the
that.
sound effect.
Yeah.
For those wondering. You know, some people watch without sound, by the way.
Absolutely. A lot of people do, actually. A lot of people play without the sound. And now Final Slash.
Oh.
Felix not able to get displaced all the way. ChezyGaming doesn't even need the mini waves to help Super Marco get that turret in the mid lane. As that's the Lord walking back and forth. AP Brent looking for the end right here in the 16th minute of the game. Super Marco positioning in the back. Astral Echo revealing all 4 members. Only few not revealed. Final Slash bringing Boxy back. The immortality gets popped in his life as well. Felix chunked down. Topside wave. Clearing out the Lord, or the base rather.
Okay, base going to be fully exposed here. Couple more waves pushing in. Are they actually going to push this one in? Conceal going to be used, but now the waves making their way here.
Sorry, I'm Felix getting popped down. That's a killing spree and a Final Slash. MP the King, one last desperate requiem. But it's AP Bren in the EVM Convention Center in front of the home crowd, performing and getting a dominant victory.
The Bees are buzzing for AP Bren as they cap out the series 3-1 against Cambodia. See you soon.
A wise man would say, after a win like that,
Whoa.
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 Definitely have an idea who the game MVP is probably going to be.
I know that guy.
I know that guy.
I know that. Who's that? I know, that guy.
That's a good jacket there.
Is that Mara?
Well, you know, once again, there's Mara, by the way. But again, congratulations there to AP Bren. And see you soon. They can hold their head high. First one to give AP Bren a loss here and then in the series, of course. But they're going to have to recalibrate as they get sent down to the lower bracket. But let's go ahead and see what AP Bren has to say with Mara as we head on over to the stage.
Congratulations to AP Bren! All right, everybody, let me hear you say this. Bren lang? That's absolutely right. Congratulations to AP Bren. Phew, greatest 10 player in the world. Congratulations also. We were shocked, we were surprised with the Odette pick. Actually, some of the casters were questioning in the beginning, why Odette? But you guys made it work. Whose call was that? And why did you think to make Odette come just today?
Nirequest ni Coach Bren na na gamitin si Odette. Matagal na niyang gustong ipagamit yan Tapos ayun, pinagbigyan ko lang.
So Coach Bren requested for a few to use Odette, and he's been asking for this for a long time. So finally, a few said, all right, I'll give it to you. But what is it about Odette that you saw that would make things work?
Sobrang sakit kasi niya Tapos parang dalawang item lang kailangan, pwede na lumaban. Ganun. Naganap lang kami pang early damage.
For early damage. Because Odette is masakit. Odette, hurts? Hurts a lot? Okay. Now, how was that experience like in terms of you knew a lot of people would doubt that pick, but you got to prove that it worked on the world stage. How did you like that performance? And will we see that again?
Possible naman na mapick ulit namin siya. Tapos, ayun, sobrang nakakatawa na napagana namin siya kasi pinapractice din talaga namin siya Tapos, pagdating na tournament, nagamit namin ng maayos.
So you've been practicing it for a long time, and he's really happy that he's able to make it work. He's been using it a lot in his other games, and he's glad that he's able to make it work here in the world stage. Now, up next, it'll be Geek Fam versus Burmese Ghouls. And if you were to choose, actually, who can answer this? If you were to choose who you would want to go up against, who would that be?
We're hoping for Geek Fam.
Geek Fam, Ogwin, Geek Fam. Bakit Geek Fam?
Baloy and Marky, gusto namin sila makapasok. Si Baloy tsaka si Marky gusto namin
Baloy and
makapasok.
Marky, you want to be able to face Baloy and Marky. Is there something that you want to say to Geek Fam right now? Hamunin mo!
Good luck sa inyo. Lalo na yung jungle ni Marky, inaabangan namin yun.
Oh, good luck! Especially the jungle Marky. He's waiting for you. But you know, there's also a chance that you get to meet Burmese ghouls. You already got to face them. If you were to face Burmese ghouls again, do you think that it would be a little bit harder, or the fate would just be just the same?
Tingin ko medyo macha-challenge kami kasi medyo malakas din talaga yung Burmese Ghoul nung nakatapat namin sa group stage.
He thinks they'll be challenged because Burmese ghouls was really strong when they were able to face him in the group stage. So you don't think it'll be the same outcome this time?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we have
just a harder time.
Yes, harder time.
Just a harder time.
Wala gawin si Flap.
Flap?
Yung hawi ni Kaito.
Okay. There's a special request in here. Okay, so, but that's okay. I can stay away. I can go like this. So yesterday, they were saying that I made Kyrie sweep his hair, comb his hair with his hand, and all the ladies went wild. So now Flap TZ. So now, Few comes up to me and says, Ate Mara, Flap wants to do this because you made Kyrie do this. So okay, I'll give Flap TZ a chance to do this, okay? You can take off your mask, that's okay, I'll step here. Okay, you can actually turn around first. Flap, turn around first and pretend when you go around that you're gonna see your crush. The most beautiful woman in the world. Let's see how you're going to look at her in 3, 2, 1. Dun, 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 dun. I think a lot more ladies cheered today for Flap TZ. Once again, what do you want to say to the fans? Sige nga, Flap, what do you want to say to the fans? Message to the fans.
Thank you po sa pag-support sa amin. Sana supportahan nyo kami hanggang finals.
Thank you to everyone who supported, and he hopes that you support them all the way to the finals. All right, everybody, once again, Bren Long. Congratulations to AP Bren. They move on to the upper bracket semifinals. We're going to break it down for you, and we're going to go back to our casters. Pasok.
Thank you so much, Mara, and also to AP Bren again. Congratulations. Flap, I think Kyrie's shivering right now. But again, great to see them perform, have some fun.
Sure.
Their outfits, their kicks look great, by the way. And
they got that drip.
They got that drip, right? Now, this game, this series, it was very, very in favor of AP Bren. And you heard them, too. They would love to actually see them go against, was it Geek Fam?
Geek Fam.
Ahead of them.
Geek Fam.
So very interesting words too that we heard there, cheering on their fellow Filipinos, and we'll see how that all kind of plays a part because that matchup's later, right? We have to see really where that happens because they even talked about Burmese ghouls a little bit. So real quick, MVP of that last game there is going to be none other than Super Marco, like we expected. The 11-1-3 performance, very dominant here on this Brody.
The MVP, the man of the match, Super Marco, shredding the side lanes, taking turrets and their gold, pushing his way through, and having this damage outcome was just inevitable at a certain point. Having all these damage items and not even taking the boots into consideration, he just goes for a full itemization here in terms of the damage only. With a kill participation of 70%, like having even a 70% on a Brody, even though he was supposed to be focusing on the Bruno matchup where Bruno won 80% of these matchups up against the Brody, but yet we see here that the odds or the numbers are not for the favor of the Bruno anymore. Flap TZ at some point was so annoying to Team CU Soon, taking those 3 kills in the early game. And not just that, also we have seen Ogwayne once and again dealing or like making a lot of casualties for the side of Team CU Soon once he uses his final slash, making them all out of position. Super Marco at this point with his damage won the monster kill, even though it was so near. Even though he was like half HP, he managed to take his life.
Yeah, even looking at the positioning here, right? A lot of the time, Super Marco's was working with the distance that they had, but eventually, you know, the damage is insane from this Brody pick. And it really makes sense why they went with this kind of draft here, building around that. Very tanky front line, ability to peel if he needs it, ability to pop the nether realm for a lot of these situations. And, you know, that just kind of all fell into place here, allowing AP Brent to be very dominant, to be very strong and confident in a lot of these approaches here. And why it worked so well. And, you know, again, looking back at Super Marco's performance on that Brody, who statistically, yes, has not done very well against the Bruno, but this time, the tables were turned.
Yeah, and I'll tell you with full confidence that at this final moment for Team AB Brand, they didn't go in for the finish. They wanted to have a wiped out at some point because they wanted to finish, and they wanted to finish clean. So let's look here at the statistics given to us, 20-8 when it comes to the kills. Also the goal lead, 11 almost, or like 12 goal lead, and 12k goal lead. And we have seen such thing for the games where AB Bren were on the winning side. But here we can see that Kosei at this point, or at this match, wasn't served or like wasn't helped as much as the game they won. So looking at that, he was trapped in this gold lane. He couldn't move an inch. And at some points, I told you guys, he was so zoned by Super Marco and his damage and also his teammates.
Yeah, and even looking at this, again, Flap TZ starting a lot of that momentum early on, building into, you know, where this kind of all fell into place for AP Bren here. The disparity when we looked at that, the gold, the items alone, was a big reason why AP Bren was able to take a lot of those early fights, those mid-game fights, and lead into this. Even when you look across from this, right, Boxy the King being that sandbag for the team here, it just, unfortunately, the Minotaur, although we saw it banned out constantly, it wasn't enough to deal with this kind of lineup from AP Bren that was thrown at them.
And if we take a look at the entire damage dealt, despite the fact that Super Marco had such a big lead in the game, take a look at that damage dealt, right? Kusei wasn't actually too far behind. And now it's just the question of why the Bruno has such a massive win rate compared to the Brody so far M5, when realistically we saw the rates, it was 50,
we saw the
49.
theoretical,
The theoretical one, it's a bit closer, and we definitely got to see that a bit more here. How does the Brody win against the Bruno? Snowball, bro. If the Brody gets a snowball from the start, if the Bruno can't get the win of nature in time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It works like that, right? Again, things just fell into place so well for the lineups that AP Bren drafted. And I loved, too, hearing from the interview, you know, why the Odette? Because they wanted to play it, right? And eventually they're just like, hey, Coach was like, all right, go for it. You know, make it work, and they did. So that really leaves to question, like, what else do the players of AP Bren want to play eventually and pull out, right?
There's Kimmy, please.
Yasu's hoping
He's still
for the
dreaming
Kimmy.
for it.
He's still dreaming. He's hoping, right?
If AP Bren are watching, or any other team there wants to grant him his wish,
Make
or
it
his
happen.
dream, make it happen. Pick up a Kimmy.
Would you know, how would you feel if it actually got brought up?
I will actually cry.
What if you're casting that game?
You will cry during the cast.
Yeah. Well, it could work, right? But again, we can only dream so much. But all of you watching at home, and maybe even here at EVEM, the M5 Pass is live. So finish all the activity tasks to reach a level 75 for free. The M5 exclusive Yuzhong skin, the Dragon Shade, and the Yuzhong Cosmic Dragon, the Yuzhong figurine, and more await for you guys. Again, this is an amazing figurine. Finish that pass, that M5 Pass. You only have so much time left. So. Thank you guys once again so much. We have to thank our sponsors as we wrap up this series of the day. Once again, M5 is powered by Moonton. It's presented by Kadia, our global presenting partner, supported by ROG, our official gaming phone Grab, our official super app partner, and of course, Secret Lab, our official chair partner.
Up next, Indonesia's Geek Fam and Myanmar's Burmese Ghouls will kick off their Knockouts campaign. You definitely don't want to miss the action of what this matchup has in store for us. Niall no longer going to be playing for the next 2 series, and we have a replacement that is yet to be revealed. Who's going to be in the jungle?
Who's going to be in the jungle is the question. Once again, who? I am Naisu, this is Mirko, and that's Yasu. Thank you for joining us for the first series. We still have the second one after this break. Once again, it's Geek Fam versus Burmese Ghouls. Who will prevail? We'll find out after this short break. Stay tuned.
Like I might get over, but you can give me in no corner. I know I can make a comeback. It's this round, it's this game now. Got the power on my shoulders. Yeah, you know that I'm a soldier. You can keep me off my guard, but you can't keep me from my honor. I feel like the floor is harder. The energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms. 'Cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na. And you know I hold the power. Into this game